got to take a risk as a bowler to try something different and get yourselves ahead of the game, or at least back into the game.
That's off the edge. It's a good result for the strikers and disastrous for the Scorchers.
And that can happen when you try and go full with a Yorker. Yorker can be a very high-risk move. If you nail it, yes, it's hard to get away, but if you miss, well, it seems to always go for 4. And if you're going to risk a Yorker, it's probably also a good time to try and risk that bouncer. It's been good today. That one probably just erring in tactic.
It looks to be in a bit of stress. Nathan Coulter-Nile after that ball. Struggling with some breathing. Hopefully he's okay.
Thought him now that he had a stitch. I don't know if you had a stitch at the end of your 4th over, at the end of your spell. Holding your ab like that, it's not often that you actually get an injury in the centre of your abs as a fast bowler. Normally your strain injuries normally happen down the lateral side of your body.
That's just splendidly struck. Nielsen playing like he's played 100 BBL games. What a shot from Harry Nielsen. Now, concern here for Nathan Coulter-Nile, who's at the other end. Come back to that. Tomorrow we've got a massive match for you in the Big Bash League, a game of great consequence for the Melbourne Stars as they look to find a spot in the top 4. They're taking on the Sixers, who are going to be there. And the Stars play semi-final cricket in the Big Bash League. That's coming up for you tomorrow on 7. Now here are the alarming pictures of Nathan Coulter-Nile, who went to the ground at the end of that over. Now he's being assessed. You can see they're checking his pulse there.
Like I said in the previous over, it's unusual that you get something like a stitch, but you saw him holding in the centre of his stomach. Straight away at the end of the over, calling to the doc to come out and going straight to the ground, feeling a little bit woozy. I hope he's all right. Again, highly unusual that you get that at the end of a bowling innings. Normally muscular strains and things like that are bit more lateral. It's unusual to go down like that, so we hope he's right and wish him the best.
Naturally, every precaution would be taken in a situation like this. Nathan Coulter-Nile is going to have to come off the field. So as sad as this story is for Nathan Coulter-Nile, what a lovely thing to see Michael Klinger out on a cricket field again. Had that wonderful send-off in Perth. He's had to sit and watch today, and now he's out there, part of the action.
Yeah, it's hard to speculate what's happened to Nathan Coulter-Nile there. He's had a fantastic day and finished off with a 6 over mid-wicket off Harry Nielsen, and you only think that would have happened through being under duress or stress. So he's a fierce competitor. Let's hope he's okay. But it's all on Matt Kelly now. Now we have to find some tricks, Dirk. If you're the bowling unit, you have to mix it up. Couple of bounces, slow balls, whatever you can do. Bring the field up. Put in a bat pad even if you feel really gutsy.
Just got to roll the dice. Trying to bowl dot balls at this stage is very difficult to do, particularly with the field all encroaching on the batsman like they need to do.
Not a controlled shot from Valenti, and the shot at the stumps wasn't far away.
Oh, nice work from Josh Inglis, a backup wicket-keeper. Not even a backup wicket-keeper, he's a full-blown wicket-keeper. He's been good in the field. This is where Cameron Valente, even though the field's been brought up, you just swing as hard as humanly possible. Any half bat on it to get over the top of that infield's a result. He's got 5 free swings here.
Oh, a misfield allows the single. The two batsmen had sort of hesitated mid-pitch, but when they saw the misfield, got through comfortably.
Well, it's been the story of the day for the Scorchers in the field. So many missed opportunities.
Yeah, they've been sloppy, haven't they? It's a bit of an awkward bounce for AJ Tye, but he's an excellent outfielder. You can just see that they're actually out there in the field just searching for answers.
Still just trying to shuffle the field around, trying to work out the best recipe. This is a situation that you don't really train for. When you've got 7 on the board, you normally have a more realistic scenario that you set. That's probably all you can bowl. Try and bowl as many Yorker dot balls as you can. It's high risk. If you miss, it's probably going to be flying back past you for 4. But if you nail it, you can get dots and get some consecutive dots if you're good enough.
Well, every ball you don't hit, you just start to feel a few nerves creeping in, that hands are fraction sweaty. Just tighten your hands on the bat a fraction.
Like you said, it's one shot.
Absolutely. It's on your shoulders.
Dot, single, dot, single in this over so far.
He's been impressive, Matt Kelly, all through the tournament. It's a true find. Bowled in tough positions, bowled in the power play. Bowling at the death now is into his last over. 1 for 21, 12 dots included on a good wicket. Cameron Valente. Can he be the hero and pop one into the Sir Edwin Smith stand?
He's had a good old heave-ho at that. Chance for a run out. Valente went with the stroke. And he gave up. He knew his fate. If the stumps hit, he was gone.
Well, is there a twist to this game? All it needed was a direct throw. Not even in the frame. One of the rare times he was out by so much. One of the rare times you don't go upstairs. Is there a late twist?
Rashid Khan. We saw the shot moments ago of him ever so slightly nervously watching on.
Oh, good to see him out there in the middle. He's been fantastic for this franchise over the years. And, well, the Blue Army, they love him. He's an excitement machine. I don't reckon he'll stick around. He'll be absolutely swinging that bat as hard as humanly possible when he gets a chance. He'll either pop it into the stands or will skew if over point for 4 or 6. What a champion. What a player.
Well, from a Scorchers perspective, I think you've got to try and have this ball. It's probably the most important ball that they're going to bowl for the rest of this game. You need a dot here to keep Nielsen off strike.
Nielsen gives himself room and hits it for 4. Superb knock from this youngster. Looks like it's going to get the strikers over the line.
Well, it was pretty well executed from Matt Kelly, but young Harry Nielsen knew that the square leg was up, targeted that short boundary, and his execution was spot on. I'm looking forward to seeing what Rashid Khan does for the first ball of this last over. He'll either step across to offside and try and heave it across to the Max Bashir stand, or try and slice it into the Bradman stand. It's going to be fun to watch. Jason Behrendorff, the man, doesn't get to bowl the last over too often. Usually bowled out his 4 well and truly before this stage.
He's going to take guard and do all the normal formalities first. He does.
I've never understood this. End of the game, there's been 39 overs of batsmen marking the crease. Surely you just use whoever's come before you.
Oh, he's had to dig out a Yorker here to start things off.
I was expecting greater bat speed than that.
There you go.
Might have a test match for Afghanistan coming up in the short future.
Well, they're playing Australia in the not too distant future. Is this one going?
Absolutely.
Oh, just tucked neatly away. That's not what we're expecting. They'll come back for two. And the Adelaide Strikers end a disappointing defence on a positive note with a fine victory over the Perth Scorchers. They chased down the 175-run total with 4 balls to spare. Some viewers departing through Vic and New South Wales. Well, Rashid Khan, we thought for all money was going to belt one over the fence to bring up victory, but that was just a neat tuck through mid-wicket. That's a good feeling for the Adelaide Strikers, who've had a disappointing season, it has to be said, in their title defence. The Perth Scorchers, a far cry from the year-on-year finals appearances and the 3 championships. Hodgie, what do you make of that performance and the season-ending win for the Strikers?
Oh, it's a good performance from the Adelaide Strikers. I thought that the Perth Scorchers had enough, but it was more to do with their fielding, their execution of bowling. Just leaked runs and a wonderful knock from Jono Wells in the middle. Was able to track this score down on what was a pretty good wicket, and Harry Nielsen, 44 off 29 at the end to get his team over the end. That was a wonderful knock and a win to the Adelaide Strikers.
So well done to the Adelaide Strikers. They have avoided the wooden spoon. That will be the fate of the Perth Scorchers, today's defeated opponents at the Adelaide Oval. They, having made 174 for 6, but just about unable to defend that chase. The Strikers getting there with 4 balls to spare. Of course, Rashid Khan knocking off the winning runs, but Jono Wells and young Harry Nielsen really with the runs that mattered. Also, perhaps more important than the score, fingers crossed, all is well with Nathan Coulter-Nile. Obviously, you saw him having to go off and receive some treatment. I hope that's nothing serious. Looked like he felt a little faint, but in any case, the Strikers win by 5 wickets, and they will finish a little further up the table. But we can leave the Adelaide Oval and move straight across, as if by magic, to the Manuka Oval in Sydney. Clouds over the arena, but that's the state of play. The Hurricanes, the visitors here today, they will finish top of the table and contest the playoffs. Can the Thunder pull themselves into contention? Well, they need a big win here over the Hurricanes. They have been able to recall a couple of the Australian internationals, Usman Khawaja and Pat Cummins, the 2 you can see taking to the field. Shane Watson inevitably has chosen to bowl, having won the toss, because the Thunder need to know what they will have to do in terms of the chase in order to give themselves the best possible chance of winning by enough, and they must win to be sure of a top 4 spot. Big ask for them, because the Hurricanes, of course, have been very difficult to beat in any way thus far this season, largely down to these 2 opening batsmen, Matthew Wade, the skipper, and Darcy Short, 2 left-handed batsmen who are very much the platform builders for the Hurricanes with the bat. But the Thunder had no option, really. I think the Hurricanes probably would have chosen the same option had they won the bat flip, but Shane Watson won that, importantly for him, and the Thunder has chosen to bowl, and thus they will know what they'll need to do with the bat once the Hurricanes have set them a total. This one at the Manuka Oval. Remember, the Hurricanes already assured of top spot, so it's match practice really for them, but they've been so good all through this Big Bash campaign that it's a tall order for the Thunder to beat them by the kind of margin that they would require, but they have no choice but to try and achieve that. Mentioned Khawaja and Cummins back for the Thunder. Also English representation in the form of Chris Jordan for the Thunder. But the Hurricanes, with Jofra Archer, of course, soon to be eligible for selection for England. Those two opening batsmen, George Bailey, they are very strong throughout their 11, the Hurricanes. And under rather greyer skies than we saw in Adelaide, it will be Wade and Short who will get the Hurricanes underway in terms of their attempt to set a score that the Thunder cannot chase down, at least cannot chase down with the kind of velocity and power that they will need to climb up into the top 4 and displace the Brisbane Heat. This is our second then of the 2 matches from the Big Bash today. One more tomorrow featuring the Sixers and the Stars at the MCG. But it's the Thunder in the field up against the Hurricanes now with us here on BT Sport. And watching on from the commentary box at the Manuka Oval, Mark Waugh and Darren Lehman alongside Mark Howard, with Chris Jordan, as you see, about to bowl this opening over for the Sydney Thunder.
Not happening, he reckons.
There is Usman. He looks a bit like a rap star there, Bush.
He does, he loves it.
Sure.
Copy Anton Devcic.
Thanks, Cal. We'll speak to you throughout the night. So no slips in. Jordan, who's been pretty good with the new ball, to Matty Wade. Strong breeze blowing across the ground, favouring the leg side for Matty Wade.
Yeah, it's a good size ground, this Manuka Oval. So it's one of the grounds where if you do miss-hit the ball, you can actually get caught in the outfield, unlike maybe Brisbane or, you know, square of the wicket in Adelaide. Here you've got to get a good piece of it. So the pitch is basically right in the middle. The surface is beautiful. There is a strong breeze, as you mentioned, Howie, from, I reckon, from the south. Chris Jordan's probably bowling slightly into it, I'd say. These two boys haven't peaked too early, have they, Buffer? Wadey and Darcy Short?
I don't think so.
They've scored a lot of runs.
Played beautifully, haven't they? They've taken on the other night in Hobart, against Richardson. They took him on early, so he's got a fine leg and a deep backward square here, and everyone up on the offside. So he's going to bowl quite straight, sort of with the breeze he's hitting there, and he's going to try and swing it in, I'd say, Chris Jordan. But they've been exceptional, haven't they?
Short strike at 140, Wade strike at 147. Incredible numbers. Bit of confusion.
Matthew Wade wasn't quite sure where it actually went because it come off the pad and went above his eye line. He was trying to hit that 30 rows back over square leg, wasn't he? Gee, swung hard at it.
And if he did, it would have gone out of the ground.
Yeah, it would have.
I mean, it's a good wicket. It looked a good track when I was out there. I mean, last 2 times it's had to be 180 to win the game. So I think Hobart will be targeting a good power play. They'll have to get 180.
Well, the Thunder, on the other hand, they'll be looking to restrict the Hurricanes to about 140, I reckon. They could probably get that off 12.2 overs, but...
Well, I reckon it's a good wicket. They could get one. It could be like last night.
Yeah.
If they restrict them somehow, get some early wickets.
150 or below, I reckon. Above that, big trouble for the Thunder.
Darcy Short gets things underway. We heard Callum say it was a difficult one to approach, but if you're coaching the Sydney Thunder tonight, how do you go about a game that first you have to win, but B, you have to win in a certain period of time?
Well, you've got to try and get wickets early. That's the first port of call, because if you don't get Short and Wade in the first 6 anyway, they're probably going to make too many. So you've got to think, who's my best bowlers? They've gone Jordan, who swings it early. You would think they would probably go Paddy
Surely
Cummins.
Pat Cummins should have taken new ball. I would have given him the first over, but...
I don't mind into the breeze, probably.
Yeah, I guess.
For one.
Yeah.
And it's worked fine. A real pace is turning Jordan round the corner, and Matty Wade with the opening boundary.
I don't think Gurinder Sandhu picked it up down at the fine leg. Chris Jordan just getting his line wrong, just a bit too much leg side. The idea was right, full and straight, get the swing back at the pads of Matthew Wade. But it's just outside leg stump. Poor delivery, really.
Yeah, poor. You've got to be attacking the stumps for these two. Most sides have bowled to them, have sort of bowled trying to get the nick, and they get across their stumps and work at the leg side. So the idea is right. Execution was just a little bit wayward.
Ooh, big swing and a miss, and called a wide. Good work by Jukes.
bit slower. The Thunder, they've been a bit hot and cold in this tournament, and a lot of the reason why is they haven't got much out of their overseas players. Apart from Josh Butler in the first couple of games, their overseas players have given them nothing. Jordan's been poor, Devcic has been poor, and Joe Root's been poor, so that's really let them down, I think. So looking for a big game from Jordan, Devcic maybe.
Well, the bonus, Kawaja back.
Yeah.
At the top of the order.
It's so important, the overseas player, you get something out of them.
Hustle through for a single to finish the over. 8 from it. Cal Ferguson is still out there. Cal, so much talked about this opening partnership of Wade and Short. What are you generally trying to do to this powerhouse pair?
Well, CJ was trying to tuck them up there, not give them too much room to free their arms up. Whilst they do hit really strongly to the leg side, generally they like a bit of room to free their arms up and get a good arc at the ball. So, as you can see there, CJ was trying to tuck him up and it worked reasonably well. He just went a bit too far down leg side with one ball, but for the most part it worked okay there.
And now pace off, Cal, with Greeny coming on.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how the wicket goes with spin here. The spikes did go in a little bit, so maybe it might just be a little bit slow, hopefully hold a little bit. Our spinners generally bowl very well in the power play, so we'd like to think that one of these guys will hit one straight up in the air with just a little bit of hold in the wicket.
Cheers, Cal.
Thanks, guys.
Paddy Cummins doesn't get the opportunity with a new ball.
I think he'll be on next over that. But we did see the short ball then from Chris Jordan, that first over hole in the pitch. It was a cutter, but the one that was wide outside off stump looked like it did hold, so we might see a little bit of purchase by Chris Green, who's not a big turner of the ball, but he just needs it to hold a fraction.
Try and just angle into the stumps like that. Matthew Wade will give himself some room and try and go over mid-off. Mid-off's up at the moment. And then if he does go leg side, he'll try and, if he follows him, he'll use his sweep shot to effect, which he did the other night.
Gives himself room. That's exactly what Ferguson's talking about. And it goes down. Forward Ahmed, just there at backward point, hung in the air. And Farweed can't snare the big wicket of Matty Wade.
Well, you've got to take them, I'm afraid. That's a regulation catch. Okay, you have to go back a little bit, but if you want to win the game, you can't drop those. That's a sitter, I'm afraid.
That was too easy, didn't he? You're not happy, Gene, are you?
Nah.
The governor is...
That's just under 10 stuff, and I reckon under 10s would have caught that.
Just get a bit feisty when the Thunder are playing.
I know, I haven't had him.
Yeah,
well, the standard of catching this season has been Z grade.
I think he realises his position's under review as well, Wolf. That always adds to the pressure.
Get me out there at backward point.
So Matty Wade gets a life.
Gee, they needed that, the Thunder.
That was a perfect start. Far away.
Perfect to not perfect. From the penthouse to the basement.
Good basement, yes.
The bounce by Chris Green. Nice.
He's quite quick, isn't he? He sort of gets it in there. He's tall.
95 case.
Yeah.
Good control.
7 wickets to date in the tournament. That's well played. He didn't have much room there, Darcy Short, but he's such a powerful player. And he hits the point boundary.
He's too wide and too short. And a big gap there. There's a lot of men in the offside in the circle, but there's a really big gap between backward point and the man in front of point.
Yeah, he plays that. He just had to get in the gap, didn't he? That's where a bloke should almost be.
It's a huge gap.
Too big a gap for a left-hander, that. We've got mid-off, really in right position, but straight cover. Callum Ferguson's too straight, and then Guaja's too straight as well. And that's the job of the bowler and the keeper to get that right.
Yeah.
Because that's an easy gap to hit, really, for a left-hander, although Matthew Wade on the top edge at the far wide. But
when you look at the gap between Devcic at backward point and Kawaja at sort of a straight cover, it's like there's a man missing. They've got 8 blokes there. I'm going to have to ease up a bit here.
You started with a power early.
Well, we need a good start, the Thunder. I'll come back for 2.
Well, you had it, didn't you?
So the catch goes down in the over. 16 from it. You're talking about the various positions. The ground itself, we're here for the test match. It is like a bowling green. It is a wonderful outfield, and there it is.
The grass is so fine, isn't it? You're right, it's almost artificial. There's the dimensions, 75, sort of the diagonals, that's a good hit. It's not huge squares. 70 metres is a decent hit. Towards...
It's a decent sized ground for T20 though, isn't it?
It is. There's no real small boundary. They're all a decent hit.
Yeah, if you don't get it right, you're going to get a wicket. Especially for the spinners. Too many games you sometimes playing on one side of the ground and it's a 50-metre hit or a 55-metre hit. At least that's a decent hit to both sides.
Paddy Cummins with ball in hand, as you wanted, Mark. Hasn't played in the BBL since the 8th of January 2017, so over 2 years ago. And it was the Thunder versus the Hurricanes in Hobart, where he got 2 for 36 off 4. She's a nice fellow to bring into the squad at this stage of the year.
Yeah, they would have liked him for a few more games, but better late than never. Yeah, he's quality, isn't he? He's had a great summer with the ball and the bat too. But particularly with the ball, Shane Watson goes in the first slip. I like that. Got a third man who's really fine down there. Going to Sanders, maybe for the slash, the top edge. Clipped away by Darcy Short.
He's had an unbelievable summer, Patrick Cummins. I think he'll probably, he's my tip for the Allen Border medal on Monday night.
Yeah, I reckon he'd be short price favourite, and he's been his fitness has been great to him, and he's had those injuries we know about, but a lot of overs in hot conditions too. It's been a very, very hot summer. Got through it all.
Good running there from Matthew Wade. They called 2 straight away.
Daniel Sam's out there. It's to his natural hand, or is it Devsich?
This is the last time Paddy played. It was against the Hurricanes.
It's the exact dismissal he'll be looking for too.
BBL 6.
Who's the keeper there, Joe?
Was it Lenton?
I didn't see.
I think it was Lenton.
Jay Lenton.
We've had a few keepers this year.
Yeah.
The Thunder. Oh, that's good from Matty Wade. Just picks it up over mid-wicket and chips it out to the fence.
Well, catches win matches, June, but Matthew Wade can hurt you like that.
Yeah, it's a confident batsman, isn't it? Playing that sort of shot to Pat Cummins. 146 k's an hour. It wasn't slow. He's very strong through that area. Loves to hit over cow.
Well, it's funny. It's almost a bowl too full for Matthew Wade. They did it the other day. You've got to hit the top of the stumps. And I think the sides are sometimes getting too cute with their plans.
Yeah, I think you've got to get batsmen hitting on the up, not hitting a half volley.
And I think they've done that to these two quite regularly. They're almost going, well, they're going to come at us. Let's try something instead of actually just doing the basics well.
That's up-ish. Forward arm hit again. Same result.
There was millions when it was in the air. He never quite got balanced. He wasn't an easy catch, to be fair. He made good ground, but he was never in a stable position to catch it.
Well, I want to know what he's fielding there for anyway.
Well, you've got
put
him somewhere.
You obviously got 2 planned there, haven't you? You've got 2 back for the hook shot. So he needs to be the other side of the ground where the ball's not going to go.
He needs to be beyond the keeper, actually.
Junior could well walk out here in the power play.
We could be on our own here,
Howard. Stir me up too.
Not.
You are.
2 chances go begging both to Matty Wade. Yeah, that's the pace of Paddy Cummins, 146.2. All right, Mark, you can take us through these 2 drops if you like.
Okay. I was just trying to forget the first one. This is the first one. top edge. Matthew Wade looking to cut. Chris Green, it went quite slowly. Okay, it was over his head a little bit. And then the second one, the hook shot. It's very hard to catch the ball when you're on your knees on the deck. He was never balanced, so it's unfortunate both catches have gone to Farwade, who's actually improved his fielding, to be fair, over the years. What are you laughing at? He got a run out this season. You see that run out he got?
Yeah, I did, actually.
Bowled him! Cummins gets the big wicket of Darcy Shorts. Bring a superstar into the team. That's what he can do.
Well, fantastic there from top of off stump. Amazing what you do when you actually bowl the right length. That was a very quick delivery. 145 clicks. Sure what Darcy Short was doing. He's a bit disappointing with himself as he got out there. He just got the right length. Cross seamer, tried to back away a little bit, give himself some room, and he got the right length. That was a pleasing thing. Look at that, top of off, perfect.
Yeah, a little off cutter from Pat Cummins. Might have taken a bit of pace off it. Just getting a bit too cute there. Darcy Short might have been better punching it through the covers. He goes early on. It's 1 for 24.
Cal Ferguson in the middle. Cal, do you know?
Those your first 4 scorers?
All right, special one. You pick them. You pick them. You pick them. Ah, challenge accepted. Brain cells, current prize money?
25 grand this week, Hunch.
Score stats, Hunch? It's Hunch time. 1, Fabinho. 2, Vardy. 3, Sterling. 4, Harry Kane. Heed your hunch with Betway's 4 to score for a chance to win 25 grand this week.
Whether it was holding in the wicket a touch as well, but looked like Wadey just got a bit early on that one that he shanked to short 45 where we missed the chance. So might just be a little bit for our spinners through the innings, which is a good thing for us. Obviously, that'll bring Farwood in through the middle of the innings.
We'll be back with Cal in a moment. Matty Wade's had a couple of opportunities, now facing Sandhu, away on the leg side. It's low, it's flat, and it's 4. Cal, you're still out there. You've done a great job of pumping up Farwood Ahmed in the field throughout the summer, which we've appreciated. Pretty tough start for the wrist spinner tonight.
Yeah, it has been. Unfortunately, missed a couple of chances there. He has been very good, actually, for us in the field this year, but yeah, he'll be hurting a bit. He takes a lot of pride in his performance, so he seemed pretty down.
Where's he hiding now? Get him behind the keeper? Can we get him behind the keeper?
Come on, June.
No, he'd be right. Third time lucky, I reckon.
No, exactly right. He's snaffling the next one, isn't he?
Yeah, one-handed diving. Full stretch.
Stumps.
Thank you, Cal. Sandhu to Wade.
Imagine that if he takes a one-handed specky.
I'll imagine it. It's not going to happen.
He did get a run out, though, like Viv Richards
Yeah,
earlier.
it was good. But Fuzz, he does work hard in his fielding. When I had him
As I said, he's
Australian
improved.
team, he's
Not tonight.
Not tonight. And yeah, especially when you get short out early and you've missed Wade, who's now 20 off 13. That's what does hurt. You wanted the 2 wickets early in the power play to put him under some pressure. So everything has to go right for the Thunder tonight. So they need to get Wade out before he gets really set.
Yeah, that's right.
Caleb Jewell, the new man of the crease, who's been impressive. A couple of good scores in his first season of Big Bash. Made a 32 off 20 on debut, and then a 61 off 38 as they come back for 2. That was down at Blunston.
Yeah, he's looked okay a couple of times, you're right. But a lot of their batsmen, particularly in that middle order, haven't had a hit. Simon Malenko's only faced 68 balls for the tournament. If I was the Hurricanes, I'd be getting him up into the order. Try and give him a hit. McDermott's been a bit hit and miss. George Bailey's batted well as usual, but Malenko's hardly had a bat.
Gee, that's well hit from Jewell. Does expose his leg stump occasionally and steps across, and he does it there, but belts it away on the offside.
Beautiful timing on top of the ball. Just a little bit of width there from Gorinda. Timed it beautifully.
Well, that's the shot Darcy Short needed to play, like that. He went to fiddle it down to third man. He stood up tall, didn't he? Jewell, that's a beautiful shot from the gap. Off to a flyer 35 of 3.4. So the Thunder desperately need to get a couple of cheap wickets here, preferably Matthew Wade.
Point goes out onto the fence now. There's also a square leg on the fence.
The way he's bowling, Sandhu, he's bowling these cutters. He'd almost be better off bowling around the wicket. getting that angle into the stumps, and then if it just holds its line off the pitch, it's going to be more difficult for the left-handers rather than sliding across them and giving them that width.
Well, he's got all the tricks, hasn't he? He can do that. He can stay over. He can swing it. I just think they're probably trying too much.
Yeah.
A lot of the bowlers these days.
That's a good shot for nothing by Matty Wade. Finish the over. 12 from it. Well, Paddy Cummins comes back into the side. Bowled here in the Test match.
It is not the critic who counts. The credit belongs to the man who is actually in the arena, who knows great enthusiasms, the great devotions, who spends himself in a worthy cause, who at the best knows in the end the triumph of high achievement.
Well, they need to get another one. They want to get two. They're definitely going to get two in the first. Put pressure on McDermott, Bailey, Malenko. Howard Oman's still coming down the fine leg with two back. He's in the game again.
Oh, he will be. If Paddy bowls short, which you'd expect at some stage, to Julie Wilt. Oh, that's chip just short of mid-wicket.
Where would you put him, though?
I filled with 10. Sorry, Joe. That's one of the things we're talking about. Shane Watson there is at sort of deep. Well, he's almost on the ring before. That's in the air. I think they've got to be a bit more proactive and aggressive. And for Paddy Cummins, you know, if he comes in there, he takes a normal catch there if he's in a normal mid-wicket position. So they've missed a couple of little things, those catches, those half chances. So not going their way at the moment.
So with the state of the game, just back to what we were talking about before, Buff, again, as a coaching group, would the Thunder be looking to attack more and take wickets more, which obviously opens up risks as well that they get more runs scored off and due to the state of the game?
Well, I think you look at the way they've set the field, they're trying to defend. Shane Watson's, you know, he came in for that last ball, and if he was there the ball before, it would have been a wicket. So they're hedging their bets a little bit. You've got to get wickets in the power play. If you don't, you're not going to restrict them anyway. So they've got to try how they're going to get them out. They've had 2 opportunities missed, by the way.
Oh, and that hits Jewel in the head. Was there a little inside edge on it? And again, the pace of Paddy Cummins. That's at 147.1.
It's about the third batsman he's clocked you at Monaco in the last week. Got him on the top of the helmet, I reckon. Jewel, I think he's fine. Was there a top edge on it? Let's have a look. I reckon there was. There's a faint top edge there.
John Orchard, the doctor who runs straight out there now with the new.
Hope he doesn't start talking, John Orchard.
He looks all right though.
He's fine.
Yeah, but they.
You don't want Jay Orchard to get into a conversation, do you?
No, he can talk underwater, John.
Great man.
Great man, but can talk.
Don't ask him a question.
Let's have a listen to that last delivery from Paddy Cummins. All right there, Caleb Jewell. We saw that happen to Karuna Ratner here in the Test match with Paddy Cummins from the same end.
Like it just brushed his shoulder, didn't it, before it got him on the back of the neck.
Yeah, well, Paddy Cummins, hard to pick up, isn't he? He's sort of that action of his.
He's got a strong action. He hits the deck hard.
And the ball climbs, but that one in the Test match actually kept a little bit low.
He could have probably played it if he stood up. So the good news is Caleb Jewell's fine to keep going.
And the better news is John Orchard's off the ground.
You can only get a couple of words in there, Jay Orchard. A little shower scuttling across the ground as we speak.
A great deal on the radar. Decent rain though. It's punched down the ground, no run.
That's what we should do. Send the Thunder to play a game out in the middle of Australia, because they've had about 3 or 4 rain interrupted games this season, haven't they?
Well, and they've also had the problem with the lights at the Gabba, Joe.
Yeah, oh well.
That's not come to hurt you too much, is it?
Not really, no. They've had a lot of luck actually, the Thunder, but
make your own luck in this game.
Well, their last 2 games have been poor against the Sixers and the Renegades. They're going to go off, but maybe by the time they get off, it'll stop. It's going to be close.
It's quite windy out there, so it won't be too long. Probably stay in the dugout.
I reckon they'll stay out there.
There is the radar. So Canberra just in the top left part, left of centre there. It's that little shower hitting us now.
Well, it's just about stopped as we speak.
Just back to the concussion, a couple of interesting articles in the paper today about Kusal Pereira and the fact that the Sri Lankans don't have a doctor out here touring. A lot of the teams don't. And the Australians were surprised that he came out to bat. It was almost the Sri Lankans were given the
There's
advice.
a doctor at the ground though, isn't there?
Yeah, and he got some advice from the Australian doctor, but against the general theory, as that the Sri Lankans said no, he's right to bat. The Australians were surprised to see him batting out there. There was a fair bit written about it today, and the fact that the concussion protocols are still done in different ways in different countries, but treated very seriously here in Australia.
There should be a uniform protocol by ICC, shouldn't there?
That was the genesis of what was being written about today.
Well, the ICC should take over that, really, shouldn't they?
Maybe they just should appoint a doctor at every test match.
Well, they do.
Yeah.
They do.
Yeah.
You have a doctor every test match. It's just Australia take a doctor everywhere with them. India do that.
India have a doctor? I thought that Patrick Farhad said they didn't.
No, I'm pretty sure they do.
Yeah, it's a tricky one, isn't it? I mean, what happens if you need 5 to win and you're the last batsman in, you get hit in the helmet?
And that's the point, Jude, if you don't have your own doctor there and the opposition doctor is giving you advice that you shouldn't be playing, that was the point of the article.
Well, your own doctor's going to say you should be playing.
That's exactly right.
So you need to...
Sarah Jones down there. Sarah, have you got rid of this rain yet, please?
Well, it is slowly going away, and the covers are on at the moment. We're hopeful that it's not going to be here for too long. As we said, we've had a look at the radar, and there's not much behind this. In fact, the officials were hopeful they'd be able to play through it. It did get really heavy there for a moment, but look, I haven't got an umbrella. I'm a tough country girl, but I'm saying that it's not too heavy.
Sarah, put your weather reputation.
I think really soon, guys. Seriously, it's not very heavy at all. There's not much behind it, and looking at the ground staff, they don't look super concerned at the moment. So let's cross our fingers the guys can get out there, because we know this is so crucial for the Thunder and their chances of playing in the semi-final.
Spot on, Sarah. You're right. As we're having a look, it's clearing.
Okay, well, we'll, I think, just take a short break with the score at 37-4-1. Obviously, little weather interlude in Sydney. Hopefully that, by the sounds of it, is passing as we speak, and we'll be back with more live cricket in just a couple of minutes.
Look, everybody wanna go and talk that. At the same time, gotta walk that. Ready up, run, go, hit a lick, divvy up with my homies, and we do it all again. They just wanna find a way out, find a way to put a little food up in their mouth. I can feel a verse and they ain't go about my business. You ain't even see it coming, can I get a witness? When I go to sleep, I only dream about my other dreams. If you want it, gotta get it, gotta live it, no condition.
Join Bet365 and discover the power of the world's favourite online betting company. Instant match updates, in-depth analysis, live streaming. The Bet365 app is so advanced, it will blow your mind. Now please, gamble responsibly.
I'm different.
We start the day with a Colombian, a Guatemalan, or a piping hot Costa Rican. And a Danish to go. Some of our best friends, a Mexican, Hungarian, and French.
Hey. We live on a wonderful little lump of land in the middle of the sea. But we are not an island. We are part of something far, far bigger.
This is Formula E, racing for a new generation of motorsport fans.
2018-19 Formula E begins now!
Think you know motorsport? Think again. This is the money point right here.
Trying to go the wrong way, trying to go the other.
Racing has a new formula, and the difference is electric. The season continues in Mexico, live on BT Sport.
Welcome back. As you can see, sadly, it's still raining at the Manuka Oval in Sydney. They are underway, the Sydney Thunder and the Hobart Hurricanes, but obviously temporarily play is suspended because of this rain. Hurricanes having made thus far 37 for the loss of 1 wicket. Darcy Short, the man to go. Pat Cummins obviously back in the Sydney Thunder side now, proving, as you'd expect, pretty powerful with the ball in hand. Could have had more than that 1 wicket. They have dropped a couple of pretty regulation catches. Usman Khawaja. Fawad Ahmed has dropped Matthew Wade, certainly on 2 occasions that we've seen thus far before the rain delay. And 37 for 1 is where they've got to, but Wade is still there, partnered at the moment by Caleb Jewell, who looks a decent batsman, another left-hander. Remember, the situation as far as the playoff places are concerned, the Hurricanes will finish top and will contest the semi-finals at least. The Thunder need a big win here against the Hurricanes, and of course the weather probably isn't going to help that. There's a chance, of course, of a shortened match, not yet in territory for that just yet with Duckworth Lewis, etc., but there's a chance, of course, if the rain continues, that happens. Although certainly those pictures are rather more encouraging than the close-up shots we saw of Callum Ferguson a moment or so ago. Cover's still on, and the rain in those pictures certainly looks rather steadier than it does on the wider shot over the square. But at the moment, play is certainly suspended, and were it to affect the duration of the match, that might curtail the Thunder's chances of the kind of win that they will need, which is, to give you some idea, they would need to win today to overtake the Heat on net run rate and join them on 13 points, to win probably in around about 12 overs or by about 60 runs. Now, they have elected to bowl the Thunder, having won the toss. Shane Watson, here come the covers off, so that's encouraging. But that therefore would need a very, very impressive performance, and those 2 early drop catches to leave skipper Matthew Wade still at the crease will be a worry to Shane Watson and the Sydney Thunder fans, because it's a tall order to beat such a strong side as the Hurricanes, who've been difficult to beat all season, by that kind of margin in order to overtake the Heat on net run rate and claim a place in the top 4. That in any case could not be enough, because the Melbourne Stars have a chance tomorrow against the Sydney Sixers at the MCG to claim their place in the top 4, and that would be at the expense of both the Heat and potentially the Thunder. But that's for tomorrow. For right now, Callum Ferguson, Shane Watson and the Sydney Thunder side, which does have both Pat Cummins and Usman Khawaja back from international duty. They need to do what they can to affect the table, and that would mean a big win over the Hurricanes here. It looks like improving scenes, and as you can see from that shot, the sun getting the better of the rain. So we'll pause once again, and hopefully when we come back we'll have the prospect of some more live cricket from the Manuka Oval. See you shortly.
BOTB, someone wins their dream car every week, guaranteed.
Hi Paul, are you Jalesh? And Christian from BOTB.
No way.
Oh my god! And you have won a brand new Mercedes AMG GT. The Audi S3. Oh my god. Aston Martin VA Martin. You've just won yourself a brand new Range Rover Evoque.
£22 million of prizes have already been won.
Never ever thought I'd win.
Tickets start from just 90p. You could be next week's winner. Enter by midnight Sunday at BOTB.com.
Let's, and everybody! Big game today, eh? If you like a bet, check this out.
Correctly predict 3 scores on the Ladbrokes app and we'll give you £100 in cash. Get your 1, 2, 3 predictions in for free.
That's wicked. No, this is wicked, mate. I fancied a walk anyway.
Ladbrokes, where the nation plays.
What?
Banish your window pains with great value, beautiful windows from SafeStyle. There's never been a better time. Banish your window pains for good. Visit safestyle.com or call 0800 106 107.
Buying a used car? We know there are a lot of questions.
Has it had any serious damage?
What's the mileage?
Is there room for triplets?
And we all know the most important question is always,
Am I getting a good deal?
Car Gurus has the answer. Car Gurus makes it fast and easy to find great deals from top-rated dealers. cargurus.co.uk.
I'm self-employed, so my income's a bit up and down, so getting a loan looks a bit iffy because, well, my income's not regular.
Ask Oakham about borrowing up to £1,750.
We listen to your story, then make decisions.
No worries about being self-employed. We'll still consider you. If you're busy, managing your loan on our app makes life easier.
That's magic. I'll ask Oakham.
Ask at oakham.com, phone or pop into one of our high street stores. Ask Oakham. We love to say yes.
Welcome back. As you can see, revised playing conditions at the Manica Oval, 19 overs per side now rather than 20, so slightly reduced duration. As you can see, the power play will be 5 overs rather than 6, and the Hurricanes will resume then on 37 for 1 with Matthew Wade reprieved. A couple of drops, but he's still there, 20 from 15 balls. That will encourage the Hurricanes and be a problem for the Sydney Thunder, who need this big win really in order to try to secure a top 4 berth and a semi-final place. Back come the batsmen. As I mentioned, skipper Matthew Wade still there. Darcy Short, the man out, if you're just waking up, just joining us. Pat Cummins claiming him with a terrific delivery. He's been dangerous, as you'd expect. Very quick with the new ball. But Matthew Wade's been dropped twice by Fawad Ahmed, and that could prove costly. So 19 overs per side. They've had 4.4 of those 19, the Hurricanes, and they are 37 for 1. Caleb Jewell, the other batsman, alongside Matthew Wade. Pat Cummins partway through his second over, so he'll resume very shortly. And, the Thunder, as I've mentioned, need a win by 60-odd runs or a chase in around 11 perhaps now, or certainly that kind of margin of overs to spare. So a big ask for them, but they will give it their best shot. Cummins and Khawaja back into the side. Cummins already proving his value with the wicket of Darcy Short. Can he make further inroads? We'll find out as we go back to Mark Ward, Darren Lehman and Mark Howard.
Short. Matty Wade wants it being called an illegal delivery, and
Matthew Wade should just bat. He's not umpiring.
It's a no ball. It's an actual no ball because he bowled too many in the previous few balls in the over. So before they went off the rain delay, he bowled 2, so it's a free hit.
Spot on, Bull. It's just being signalled now.
And I thought Paddy Cummins might have argued that, but he didn't at all. So he's obviously got stuck in the crease there. It's not what you need first balls at a free hit.
No. Matthew Wade wasn't going to let the umpies forget it either, just quietly.
Field can't change because Matty Wade is still on strike.
There's no green on the offside. The light green's on the leg side, so it's straight down the ground. Then there's that green patch behind square leg.
Short, fast pitch bowling, even in T20 cricket. We saw Darcy Short, the ball before he was bowled, got a short one. Caleb Jewell's already been hit in the helmet. Still very effective in T20 cricket, isn't it?
Still a place for it.
My word, especially at the speed Paddy Cummins bowls at. Free hit now to Wade. Takes full advantage. That is way back at Monica. Only 3 rows more, and that was out of the ground.
I'd say dispatch a free hit. That's a beautiful shot from Matthew Wade. I think he might have been trying to bowl a Yorker, maybe. Pat Cummins ended up a half volley.
Yeah, that's energy hit from Melinta there. He just got it, didn't he? It's right in the slot, though.
Yeah, I think he's trying to bowl a Yorker, and he's hit that a mile. Great touch, Matthew Wade. He can even umpire and bat. That's how good he's seen them.
Final ball of the over. Squared up a touch. Squirt to A on the offside for a single. 9 from the over, 1 for 45, and that is the end of the power play after the reduction to a 19-over game.
Bit of banter there between Paddy Cummins and Matthew Wade, I reckon. Probably tell him just to bat and not umpire.
He does stir a few people up, Matthew Wade. It's the sort of character he is. There's that 6 again. That went so far in the air, but it went a long way flat as well. Good drive, wasn't it? Bang, straight down the middle of the fairway. And he didn't even look at it.
Yeah, well, he should have been out north, shouldn't he? Farward,
if you were a coach and that happened, you would have. What would you have done?
What, the Farward?
Yeah.
No one means to drop him. Not once, twice I got a problem.
Hit him a few balls the next morning?
Oh, no. He does enough training.
Okay.
But you should be catching that.
Just give him a bake then.
You just got to catch that at this level, don't you? Because when you've got 2 wickets in the power play, and he was on naught, so he's 27 now. And he's fielding wins you games.
It's been costly, and it could be a lot more costly.
Oh, yeah. It's been very costly.
Green now, 1 over, 1 for 8 from the Canberra road end. Oh, reverse sweep. It's got something on it. Runs away on this very quick outfield, even after the rain. Devsic.
Top edge, or might have been glove. I don't think Green will mind seeing Matthew Wade play the reverse sweep. Might give him a chance of getting him out.
Yeah, I've been quite impressed with Green, the way he's gone about it in his BBL career.
He's improved every season, hasn't he?
Yeah, he has. He takes it deep. He's probably bowled less in the power play this year than he has in previous years. He's bowled more at the death. Yeah, he bowls full into the heels of the right-hander.
And he's actually just changed it up a little bit this season. He's bowled a bit slower on occasions. You don't want to get too predictable no matter what you bowl. So that was a bit slower then, 93k. So he's just mixed it up a bit more this season.
Catch taken. Watson doesn't let the thunder down. The skipper with very safe hands. And Jewell departs.
Good catch too, sorry, by Shane Watson there. That was hit right in the middle. He's in quite close there, Shane Watson. So they would have liked Wade, but Jewell will do. He's been in good touch.
Yeah, as you said, he slowed it up beautifully. Got the length right. And he struggled it the other night to the off spin as well. So Jewell, Shane's going to be happy taking that catch. And that's the wicket they need. They also need, forget Wade, then you've got 2 new batters. That's the key. You slow the scoring, then you can bring in far wide to control the game from there. So Cubs will be a bit disappointed with that dismissal.
Join Bet365 and discover the power of the world's favourite online betting company. Instant match updates, in-depth analysis, live streaming. The Bet365 app is so advanced, it will blow your mind. Now please, gamble responsibly.
Been good with the bat too, Green, Buff. He's almost genuine all-rounder now.
Yeah, he's good all-rounder. They rate him highly, don't they? Not slow, that ball, 80.1, and the great man Laurie Colliver's just come with a great stat for the viewers out there. They now need to get the runs in 11.3 approximately, because they've lost that over. Making it tougher, June, for your boys?
Yeah, that's making it tougher, yeah. What's the new game in England, a 10-over game? Almost
100 balls, is it?
100 balls? 100 balls.
Yeah. It's making it tough for your Thunder lads.
You never know.
If they were to do that, they pass the Heat. So then the Heat will be finished, but the Melbourne Stars still get the opportunity to beat the Sixers tomorrow at the MCG.
Correct. It's a good over by Chris Green. 5 off the over. The wicket. 6 overs gone. The power play normally completed, 250.
We're talking about run chasers. It all changed last night, but if you were covering this game, this was extraordinary viewing.
Fantastic hitting by, obviously, Max Bryant and Ben Cutting. And Ben Cutting didn't really get going, but he got off 17 balls. That makes sense. He knocked him around the first couple of overs. Bryant got off to a flyer. Ben Cutting caught him up, and then they just both went. And they just kept hitting sixes. 13 sixes last night. It's amazing hitting.
It certainly was, to make that score in that amount of time. Max Bryant's actually threatened that sort of innings all season. He's looked good in every game, getting a lot of 20s and 30s. But 81 off 30 for Cutting. Bryant 71 off 30. No, 158 off 10 overs. It almost seems impossible to score that quickly.
Might be what the Thunder need to do tonight. It's Fawad Ahmed owes his team a couple.
The trouble is a slightly bigger ground here than the Gabba in certain areas, so it's not quite as easy to hit sixes at will.
Drop Matty Wade on 5 and 14. And Jimmy Hendricks floating across the ground, I think.
So the DJ's been real good tonight.
You like his work?
Dean Braithwaite was on earlier, the horses.
Jimmy Barnes. Yeah, Jimmy Barnes going.
I don't mind a bit of Jimmy Hendricks as well. All right, what does Matty Wade like? Edge drops short of Usman Khawaja. That would have been ironic.
Just hope he doesn't smack one back at him. It was very full, wasn't it? I'm not sure how he edged that. Just short of Usman Khawaja.
It's just not happening for the Thunder, is it? In the just dropping short, or can you have a slip in? Things like that. Shane Watson just needs a little bit of luck to go his way.
Yeah, it's often the case when you're trying really hard, things don't quite go to plan. I mean, they haven't helped themselves, obviously, with the 2 catches. It's been a bit of the story of the season for the Thunder. Yes, they've had some bad luck, but you look at their game against the Renegades, where Cameron Boyce got those last 2 overs where he smacked 50, and then the game against the Sixers in Sydney Smash, where they batted poorly up front, the Thunder.
5 and 14 and those drop catches you're referring to, Mark, both. Fawad Ahmed.
That was the first one.
Tough. That was tough.
Now you're dreaming.
It's never easy. No, catches. You made it look easy.
Well, they're never easy, but
you made it look easy, Mark. That's the difference.
That's what they train for, Buff. They weren't hard catches. Come on.
You saw Usman Khawaja try and take that catch. You told him, Buff, you wanted to see his shirt tucked in. He, Tevcic and Gurinder Sandhu almost wearing, as Kerry O'Keefe would call them, onesies.
They're trendsetters, the boys.
They used to have your jumper, didn't you?
Your jumper.
You had a long jumper, though. That was down to your knees, your jumper.
I just had no legs, June.
Sure you weren't just trying to cover up your backside.
Oh, sorry, Richard Gere.
Mate, I remember your jumper. It was like a dead set horse blanket. Was that big?
Blanket.
You had a big jumper, didn't you?
Yes, I had a big belly.
I remember that.
You were a hoodie.
I used to wear a jumper though, a lot.
Yeah, you
but
were.
not a big baggy one
Such
like
a
yours.
pretty boy.
Yours was about a
You were
size
such a pretty
48,
boy.
your jumper.
Matty Wade hasn't completely got hold of it. Still enough for 6 though. Big effort down there by Sams on the rope. He was tracking back, but Matty Wade hits his second 6. 10 for the over, 2 for 60.
I've brought good grilling to Great Britain because a tasty footy match is like a juicy burger. There's 2 halves, buns, your star striker, patty, red cards, ketchup, yellow cards, mustard, corners, cheese. And to top it all off, a little bet. I'm going each way for a draw.
Don't bet silly, bet savvy.
The new Build Your Bet has thousands of combinations to choose from. So why request a bet when you can easily build your own and get your prize instantly? The smart money's on Coral.
We'll talk about Matthew Wade, isn't there, at the moment? June?
A lot of talk. Well, he's in good nick, no doubt about it.
You've both been selectors. Would you have picked Matty Wade in the squad recently announced as they come back for 2 as a batsman? Or as a batsman keeper?
I'd pick him as a backup keeper. Well, they'd take 2 keepers to the World Cup, won't they? Boof.
I don't think they will. World Cup 1 days you don't, because if the keeper breaks his finger, he's normally out for the World Cup. So you replace him anyway.
Well, I mean, who are you going to pick him for? I'm not picking him. Or where's he going to bat? You've got to think of that. Who are you picking him for? Whose spot's he going to take? It's not as easy. Yeah, he's making runs. Put him in.
Well, I think Kerry's gone okay as well. He hasn't made the big score you would like.
He's going to bat. If he bats, he's going to bat in the middle to late order, isn't he?
You would think so. You think Warner and Finch are going to open, aren't you? So it's a tough one. Would have I picked him for that tour? No. I think Kerry deserves. I think he's kept pretty well for Australia and played all right at times. But he's certainly, you'd be talking about him.
June?
No, I wouldn't have picked him.
Gee, that could have hurt Matty
One way to
Wade.
get him out.
Apology there. He's trying to get out of the road, Matty Wade.
Well, we're talking about 50 overs, not 20
Yep.
overs.
Yeah, 50 overs, yep.
I mean, the hardest thing, you look at, if you look, when you're looking at all those things, he's in really good form, but if you look at the last 10 one-day nationals he played for Australia, it's a nice little hit. He averaged 8. Made 49 runs, averaged 8.
I think I might have dropped him actually in India.
Yeah, I think we did, June, you and I. And then his last 10 test matches, he only got 260 runs at 20. So it's a tough one, but he's in really good form. That's all you can do. That's what Justin Langer wants him to do. Come back for 2 there. They'll make that quite easy. So it's a really tough one.
What age is he? 32 maybe?
But I've not seen him play with as much confidence as I have in the last few months, to be fair. I know they've said to him they want him to bat higher. Is that right? As well? In the
Shield?
Trevor Holmes. So it'd be interesting. I think if he bats well on the back end of the Shield, batting up the order, I think they'd seriously consider taking him. The World Cup, it depends how Kerry goes in this tour, I would think.
You're saying they'll take him to the Ashes?
Maybe as a spare keeper, if he has an unbelievable back-end
yeah.
Shield season. That's what I'm saying.
What's the Ashes squad? Is it still 17?
17. They'll take the spare keeper. At the moment, I'm thinking Payne and Kerry, but Wade could certainly get in there. You know, and it depends how Kerry goes in the back end of the one days in the Shield as well.
Shot. Well fielded out there. And Sam's doing the work, cutting off a couple. Into the over. 2 for 67, 8 gone.
43 from 26, Matty Wade. 3 4s and 2 6s, striking at 165.4. This is the couple he's landed over the rope.
Yeah, that was for Pat Cummins. That was a tremendous hit over backward square leg. He's really strong through there. There's the one on forward arm there, but it looks like it's going to be caught right in the rope for a fleeting moment, but just had enough on it. And even his miss hits are going for 6. So there's those 2 6s, one over square's a big one. Let's call it 100, 99.
Pop.
And then the next one, 87.
Pop quiz for you. He's hit 26 now in the Big Bash. He is 1 behind the leader. Who do you reckon the leader is?
Ben Cutting?
No, right team.
Chris Lindgren.
There you go. Manhattan.
Thought Cutting and Bryant might have been up there.
Loz will get the numbers up shortly. No 6s in the comp.
He's played well, isn't he?
Yeah, Lynn 21, Short and Wade 20. We'll get Benny Cuttings. He hit a few last night. 17 to Cutting. And Ingram, the bulldozer, 17.
I'll tell you what's a big advantage for Hobart Hurricanes. Squeeze that for 1. Is that they're playing one of the best wickets going around. I mean, T20 cricket's got to be played on those sort of wickets. So this wicket looks a ripper, to be fair. Adelaide's been a good track most of the time, but there's been some slow ones out there, difficult tracks.
I think the tracks have improved the back half of the competition. I thought early on there were some really poor wickets at Marvel Stadium, and Spotless Stadium had a couple of iffy ones, and there was one game in Perth early on which was a real crackerjack flyer. But I guess, I mean, both teams have got to play on the same pitch, so I mean, it does give your batsman confidence, though, I guess, moving when you're playing in other grounds, when you're getting a lot of runs under your belt.
Hurricanes finish on top, so they've got a home final. I don't know if it's been officially released yet. It is definitely Thursday night for the Hurricanes versus the 4th place finisher.
Yeah, Valentine's Day, you'll be out romantic meal somewhere, won't you, Howie?
I'll be at the cricket. Story of my life, Wolf. Ahmed to McDermott. I got married during the Big Bash last year. The night after I got married, so what would start my honeymoon, I was at the SCG with Mark Wall. That was the first night of my honeymoon. Had Junior along. If you told me that as a 15-year-old, I would have been happy with that. Not so much as a 40-year-old.
Ben McDermott, he'll look to use this, to spend some time at the crease. He's hasn't made a lot of runs this season. Played for Australia, of course, at T20 level, and really big things expected of him, but he's just plateaued out a bit this season. A bit of an issue with run-outs there for a while, didn't he?
He did, didn't he?
And the sweep shots. Playing the sweep shot too early, I think, in his innings. He's playing a lot straighter tonight.
Oh, a little inside edge. Into the over. A good one from forward Ahmed. He's bowled 2 overs, 3 dots, none for 14. Cal Ferguson is still out there doing a fine job. Cal, thoughts? 2 for 71 from 9.
Yeah, no, the last 3 or 4 overs since the rain break have been really good. I think that first ball, Paddy bowled, his foot just went straight across the surface and he dragged it down, unfortunately. But since then, he finished that over well, and the other guys have backed it up. We've bowled nice lengths and made it really hard for them to sort of free themselves up and get going. So we're going to try and keep the pressure on McDermott here as much as we can while he's still fresh, get as many singles on him as we possibly can, and hopefully we can get Wadey out. If we get Wadey out, then the game really changes.
Daniel Sam's not bowling tonight, or is it all good to bowl if needed?
Yeah, look, my understanding is that he's right to bowl, so we'll wait and see. It might just be matchups at the moment.
Yep.
Cheers, Cal.
No worries.
I want to ask Cal about the order, give away state secrets. Do you think we'll see much of a different approach from the Sydney Thunder, knowing that basically they're going to be playing an 11.5 over game?
To their batting order? Well, I mean, one will open definitely. No, I think Khawaja will open with Watson. Ferguson's been in good touch. Then they haven't really got a huge hitter. Their deficits can get... I think it'll be the same, won't it?
No, Daniel Sams might go up. He might go
He's
up.
battling, he is.
But having said that, they're not going to score quicker than Kawaja, Watson, Ferguson.
No, I think
so. I think they'll stay there.
I think top 4 will stay the same, I reckon. Daniel Sam just hasn't been finding the middle of the bat. But, yeah, he's a floater, probably.
Cummins again to Wade on 45. Little edge! Catch taken! Really nicely taken as well by Jilks. And Paddy Cummins gets his second wicket. And the big wicket of Matty Wade.
Well, perfect bowling there. We talked about the length, to get the length right to, Wade and short. And they got the length right there. It was perfectly bowled by Paddy Cummins. It was quicker. Top of off, or just outside off, and sort of squared him up. Beautiful piece of bowling.
Just looking to play it really fine, wasn't he? Matthew Wade looking to run it, actually. I reckon that's off the face. Catch by Jilks going to his left. And that's a huge wicket. That gives the Thunder a bit of hope. If they can all of a sudden get another couple of wickets, they get into that middle order and tail. Matthew Wade, very good again for his 45, 3 for 71.
Well, it's 3 for 45 as well.
It is not the critic who counts. The credit belongs to the man who is actually in the arena, who knows great enthusiasms, the great devotions, who spends himself in a worthy cause, who at the best knows in the end the triumph of high achievement.
Moves against the Renegades.
So I'd be getting a slip in now. Out comes George Bailey. A little bit of a nicker, isn't he, to the quicker bowlers. So get a slip in there, Watto.
Yeah, they definitely need a slip. They've got to get another wicket now. You want to put pressure on Malenko, Archer, Rose, Ahmed, Moody and Meredith. If you're getting best bowler in the world, or what is he, ranked 2 now?
A bit of bounce in the track, isn't there, as well? A few shadows across the pitch as well.
Don't want a nick going in between third man and keeper for 4, do you, right now?
Definitely. I mean, that's where Pat Cummins should be saying, even if Shane Watson doesn't think it, Pat should be backing himself, being that good a bowler. I don't want to slip in there. Let's put one in. Shane Watson coming across to him now. Maybe they're talking about that. No slip.
Yeah, I agree with you, Joe. I'd be happy to slip right now. One of the best bowlers in the world. He's got 2 for 16 off 2.2.
Well, you can bring your point up, put him at backward point, put your backward point at slip.
Just short of one. It wasn't quick, 133. It almost ballooned through in the end, but it opened George Bailey's eyes.
And he slipped again there. Cummins, the front foot. But no sawdust at that end, I don't think, on the popping crease. I have now. Chris Jordan's going to do a bit of farming.
Got 2 tonight, Paddy Cummins for 17 with 8 dots off 14 deliveries.
Yeah. Well, that's the first one. Darcy Short looking to run. That Cummins down to third man. Got too far away from him. Then Matthew Wade looking to run down to third man as well. Good catch by the wicket. So 2 big wickets for Pat Cummins, the 2 big guns.
He has a knack of just getting wickets at the right time for his captain, doesn't he?
Well, I mean, the first half of his Test career, he struggled to get wickets. He actually bowled better than his stats showed. He was almost a little bit unlucky, but certainly changed this summer. He's really got the wickets that he's deserved. One of the quickest men to 100 wickets for Australia.
He's tightening up George Bailey here.
Got him hopping a bit. Might be really funky here if I was Shane Watson. Maybe bring in a leg gully, put a slip in, just get George Bailey thinking a bit different.
A bit funky, Jim.
Not funky at all, but I'd be funky if I was captain out there.
I reckon you're pretty funky.
94 Test wickets, Pat Cummins. He hasn't got to the 100 yet.
Marky Mark and the funky bunch.
Come on, you two. Ease up.
Another dot to George Bailey.
Definitely searching for that ball, isn't he, Wolf? Yeah. George Bailey.
He's hard to pick up sometimes, Paddy Cummins. Beautiful length there. That's the difference in the standard of, you know, where he's come to as a bowler. He bowls a beautiful length now. You know, it's a fuller length than you think, but he's so tall, it hits the deck hard, it hits the top of the stumps. It's the ball to rise off a good length quite often.
If he did have an area to improve, it was his length in Test match cricket. You know, he still bowled well, but just half a yard too short, maybe.
That's good.
That's a great over from Paddy Cummins. He gets a wicket. And just 2 from the over. 3 for 73 from 10. Sarah Jones is on the boundary. Sarah.
William Hill customers are enjoying bet boosts on their ACCAs. And now the boosts are even bigger. Choose the ACCAs that you want to boost and get better odds and more returns on your winners. Bet boosts are available every day, online and on mobile. All you need to do is create an ACCA with 3 or more selections, hit boost in your bet slip, and you're away. More control, more value, more to celebrate. William Hill. This is more.
With our fast bowlers, hopefully we can use that, but there's been teams coming to us all tournament, so we're used to it by now.
Talk us through your messaging as the skipper, given the motivation for the group and what's driving the group. You know you've got the semi-final locked away, but you still need to get out there and do a job.
Yeah, it's really important. You can't turn it on and off like a light switch form. You've got to continue to do the things that you've been doing throughout the tournament and hope it carries you through right to the end. I mean, there's dangerous teams in the top 4 all the time. Doesn't matter if you finish first or fourth, we know that. And I think it's important going into finals. You just play it like you've got nothing to lose. That's the only way to do it.
Do you feel like the team's got the form and momentum to really make an impact?
Yeah, we're playing nice cricket, so if we just stick to what we've done the whole tournament, I think we'll be fine.
All right, best of luck.
Thank you.
Thank you to Sarah and Matthew.
He speaks very well, doesn't he? He's confident in what he's doing and how he's going about it. The interesting thing there with the finals, I really want to see 1 versus 2, 3 versus 4 moving forward. So I've seen it. I had a big push for it in the IPL when I think we finished 4th one year and won it. Brisbane Heat did the same. You know, you can finish 4th, just play 2 good games and win it. I think you get some reward in the home away season. 1 versus 2, they get this double chance.
I mean, at the moment, you only get a home ground advantage, and that's nothing really in a T20 game. Like, if the Brisbane Heat happen to finish 4th, the Hurricanes are going to have to play very, very well to beat, you know, the Heat down at Blundstone Arena on a good batting pitch.
So on that situation, you'd like to see the Hurricanes play the Sixers, the Renegades, the Heat, and the loser of the Hurricanes Sixers plays the winner of the Renegades Heat.
That's right. So top 2,
extra game.
1 extra game. But what it does do, it means the top 2 teams, you know, they've played so well, they get a double chance. You normally get the best 2 sides in the finals.
Couldn't agree more. Nice bit of work there at point, but in the end they get an overthrow.
Yeah, I just think there's going to be a better way. I know when the Brisbane Heat, I was coaching the Brisbane Heat, and we beat the Renegades. They lost 1 game for the year. You know, and you know, we got in the back of Luke Palmer's back building 100 off Murray. Really, no one could hit him all series, and Palmer's got 100 in the semi-final and went to the final and won it. So I just think there's going to be some advantage for finishing 1 and 2.
2 off 7 to George Bailey, facing Jordan. Works it off the hip, picks out the field. Oh no, oh no, no, no. Hobart Ahmed lets it go, goes to the rope.
Bad to worse. I think it's poor bowling for Jordan as well. He can't get 2 balls in one spot at the moment, Chris Jordan. He's wide outside off stump, then he's down leg side, and then Hobart Ahmed just, that's the hat-trick tonight. Lucky it wasn't a catch.
All the youngsters watching, get down, watch it right into the hands.
Look at scissor hands there.
Well, it's a poor ball.
He's spraying him, Chris Jordan.
That's what you were saying, weren't you? You want your overseas performing, you know, bowling good areas all the time. That's the end of the over. That's 7 off it. 3 for 80.
You can't afford those slip-ups, Thunder. No one tries to miss field or drop catches, but at the end of the day, you've got to do it. You've got to do it well. You take catches, you've got to field well, do everything right.
Well, they're in the game though, Gene. I mean, 8 overs to go. If they can get it to keep it under 8 and over, 144 and 8 and over. If they do that, that's where you want to be. So even 10 and over, you still say 160 gives us outside sniff.
160 off 11.
Well, you never know. They got 158 off 10 last night. And you got Watson and Kawaji. If they got going in the first 6 in the ball, it's only 5 over in power play. You just never know. So if they can get it to 144, I reckon that's probably the limit.
Just got to start bowling better and fielding better if it's going to be the case. There's the win viz under 68%.
We need the boffins to calculate WinViz getting the job done in 11.2 overs. That might blow up the hard drive down there. So Sandhu, 1 over, went for 12 to Bailey. Starting to get into his work. He's taking that slightly unusual approach once more when he's facing up, which we haven't seen throughout the whole Big Bash from George Bailey.
I actually think he's straightened up that stance a bit. His backside's not, both cheeks aren't pointing towards the bowler, which can be the case sometimes. He's almost a little bit normal there in that stance.
Yeah, he is. He has
you coached him for a while. How many times did he change his stance while you're in charge?
Every couple of months.
And why and how did it happen?
He just wanted to get around. He does move.
That's nowhere near as bad as he has been this season.
But he hasn't used that approach in T20 cricket as it beats the outside edge.
Yeah, he wants access to the ball. He goes, there's a lot of different theories, George.
And as a coach at that point, do you just say, well, you've succeeded to get to this level, so I'm going to let you do what you want to do?
Well, it's easy. You judge the runs, don't you?
Right.
So look, I'm not sure it's the right way, but let's try and make it the best and work the best it can for you. And the proof will be in the pudding. And if you're not making runs, well, you're not playing, are you? It's pretty simple at that level.
True. That's a good shot from McDermott. Just leans onto the front foot and hits it hard out to the cover fence. Plenty of cricket coming up as well. One-day internationals. 3 games for the Southern Stars against New Zealand. The first one-day, February 22nd. That's at the Wacker. Then Karen Rolton Oval in Adelaide. And the third one-day finishes at the Junction Oval.
Good sides there.
Loz, we need a score from the 50-over match today as well. New South Wales won yet again, winning their 20th title, as that is pulled away hard forward a square by McDermott.
Well, not a good delivery. I think he should be bowling the top of off stump, hitting the deck hard. There's a bit there, isn't there?
Well, you saw Matthew Wade. Patrick Cummins is a very good bowler, obviously, but just bowl top of off stump. Every bowler at the moment, Chris Jordan included, is trying to get too funky.
Slow balls, short balls. We saw Sandhu go past the outside edge already earlier in this over with a good normal delivery. Hit the seam.
Make the batsman hit a good ball. Yeah, that's a
drive it on the up.
It's a good cricket shot, but it's a poor delivery.
A 31-run win to the New South Wales Breakers over
Come on, the Blues.
Queensland. 79 to Rachel Haynes. A 20th title.
Is it 20 in 23 years?
Something like that, and I think they've played in every final. I think you're spot on there, Buff.
It's an amazing effort.
Phenomenal.
They need another man in the circle. The Thunder just the 3 in there at the moment. Fine leg comes up. Well, that's a feel for bad bowling, isn't it? I think all the men out on the leg side.
See, even that delivery, June, that's full. That's you're not going to get a dot there, are you? They need to try and get a wicket or get the scoring rate down.
Especially with how Carlin Ferguson and Matthew Wade said how the pitch sort of changed once we had a bit of rain on. He said there's a bit there, a bit more zip and maybe a bit more sideways movement. But they're just thinking like they're playing on a flat pitch. They're thinking too many slow balls, too many change-ups, too many short balls. Let's hit the top of off stump. Give that a go for a while, see what happens. Don't think they're sure. There's men going everywhere at the moment.
Well, there's Chris Jordan at mid-on talking. Skipper's talking to the bowler, showing Watson. Devic is into the conversation. He's come up and back. Third man's gone up and back. Mid-wickets coming on the one now. Quaid is directing at something from backward point.
Good work in there at short mid-wicket by Green. Very handy cricketer and a great fielder. All right, we were talking about George Bailey's stance. Let's have a bit of a look at it.
Well, that's fairly normal for George. He can be a lot more backside pointing towards the bowl. There's only the left cheek there, really. So the thing with most batsmen is they normally change their stance or something in their batting when they're struggling for runs, but George does it even when he's just batting well.
Yeah, it's any time.
We were here, weren't we, Mark? Was that the Prime Minister's 11 match versus the South Africans right at the start of the summer, I think? And George, was you were commenting on, George was a lot more pronounced.
Yeah.
At that stage, he was the captain.
2 cheeks, wasn't he?
He was. Double cheek.
Well, didn't Faf du Plessis stop the game?
Did he?
Yeah, a bit of a laugh because they're great mates.
There's the wrong one. It's cut away hard.
Oh.
Kawaja, direct hit!
That was never a single there.
Dermot's had his problems with run-outs, as you said.
Well, that wasn't his fault because George Bailey was running no matter what was happening.
There wasn't one there.
Straight to him. I think even the keeper might have been close. She would have made it. And good dive.
Another change in the field. Looks like we're going for a slip. Shane Watson attacking.
Don't mind that.
Loves the slog sweep, Ben McDermott. Just wonder whether you'll try that. Farwed, this over, just changing his gloves. Maybe for the dive on the grass, maybe the dampness on the pitch. 7 out of 19, so he's probably got to go. And the sweep shots, he's a get out of jail card.
We did this the other night during Hobart. Hit a 6 in the last over. Lap one into his cheekbone. Nice. 23 off the last 27 balls, and Ben McDermott struggled until the last over. Hit a couple of boundaries. Wasn't as free-flowing as he was a couple of years ago. Yeah. That plays in mind when you're not making runs.
Yeah, I think he's just... he's not playing with the same freedom.
Yeah.
You know, he's got to a level, played for Australia, he's desperately trying to get back in there, and he's probably just tensing up a bit.
And someone bowled a full toss to him the other night early on, about third ball, and it should have just been a lay down Mazair 6. And he bunted it down from mid-on for 1. You know, that shows not as confident as he normally is, but he's a very good player.
He's strong, isn't he? A bit like an ox.
He had an unbelievable JLT at the start of the summer with Tasmania.
Come back this from the Thunder, only 26 runs off the last 5 overs, 3 for 93 from 13.
Join Bet365 and discover the power of the world's favourite online betting company. Instant match updates, in-depth analysis, live streaming. The Bet365 app is so advanced, it will blow your mind. Now please, gamble responsibly.
So 15 wickets this season, been expensive. Just under 10, I think, his run rate. 1.9. Lost a little bit of confidence with the ball. Daniel Sams, had a good start to the competition. Talented young all-rounder. Gets the ball a long way with the bat.
The one they're probably missing their bowling lineup is Cook. But he's not allowed to play, is he? Because he replaced Patrick Cummins. So Cook's not playing because he was a replacement player.
Okay, I didn't realise that.
Good start from Sams.
So Cook, Patrick Cummins coming back to play. Cook has to go. There's got to be some rule in place. Surely, if you play so many games, you must be able to stay.
Well, yeah, they left him out a few games anyway during the season, Cook. There's the hyper field, a few green lines to hit the ball to. Short one, and there's right down one of those green lines. There's that slower, shorter ball again, which the Thunder are persisting with. I think it's just sticking in the pitch a bit so batsmen get time to adjust to that delivery.
Well, and also, you've just got a beautiful Yorker. You don't have to try too much. That's, how many different balls will we get from Daniel Sams this over?
Yeah, well,
we've had a good Yorker.
I'd like to see him try and swing it back. I know there's a bit of moisture in the ball, probably, so it's not going to swing much, but
not going to swing, but a length. And
very narrow area to hit that boundary. They can see the green line between the wicketkeeper and short fine leg. That's where that ball went.
Oh, that's big from McDermott.
Big.
That's the biggest of the night.
The green line
that
for
may
that.
go out of the ground. It does.
Wow, that's a big hit. That's what we were used to seeing with Ben McDermott.
Don't worry about the hyperfield. It's gone into orbit. They need to hit that one along the carpet.
100's up for the Hurricanes. They might have just said, this is the bloke we're getting after.
Yeah. He's lacking confidence with the ball. No doubt about it, Daniel Sams. That's a tremendous blow, though.
That's a big hit. That's got to be 110.
Well, we saw one before going 99, Matthew Wade. That's got another 15 on that. Back at our hotel, isn't it?
It is. It's in the bar of the Hotel of the East. The place Laurie Colliver knows well. 3 for 103. McDermott now 29 from 25.
Why is Laurie Colliver now? Well,
he was there during the Test match.
That might help the Thunder. Actually, a dry ball. Go for the new one. Yeah, top left. That'll do us. Big block of Wilson. So yeah, come back here.
Not happy with that.
Oh,
he wasn't.
I reckon he did take the new one. Come on, block.
Make a decision. You'd be like, sorry.
Oh. The decision was made. Then block.
It's like Easter, and you've got 15 eggs. You're not sure which one to eat.
I hate to go shopping with him, blocker. You're like an old chook in the trying to pick a shirt or something in the menswear shop.
Oh, lads, just pick one. Well done.
Done, block.
Only took you a minute and a half, you blokes.
Probably the first one they got when they put back.
Hope the next one doesn't go out of the ground, and we'll have the process all over again.
The other 5 minutes.
Gee, that was some hit though from McDermott.
Good hit, wasn't it? That's what he was doing when he was in his prime, when Renegades in Hobart last year, when he was flying. They're the sort of shots he was playing, and you're going, wow.
He loves that zone, that mid-wicket square leg zone.
He'll go again, surely.
Can he do it again? That's a better ball. We need to have another look at that 6. You were wanting to know how far it went.
I'm going 125.
I'm going 110.
110.
I'll be wrong.
No, 118. Sorry, I'll review.
Oh, you're short. You're short.
Here we go. How we have a crack, son?
113.
He knows.
No, I don't. How am I going to know?
Hey! 110! That's go on, son.
Oh, lad, that's 2 beers I've won off you today, Jim.
Hey, we didn't want betting, were we? Not allowed to bet.
Beers? I love getting beer off you because you never pay.
Cut it out. I'll buy you one. I'll buy you 2 now, okay?
Hey, beauty, thank you very much.
Asahi.
Whatever it is, it's fine.
Japanese, isn't it? It's the one you like, isn't it?
Oh, for it's gold normally.
Oh, yes, right.
You blokes have just trampled across a couple of sponsors there. 3 for 105.
Sorry, lads.
Also, Sams to McDermott. It's full and punched down the ground. That's a good over for the home for the Hurricanes. 13 from it, 3 for 106.
That's the over they needed to get going again, didn't they?
Cal Ferguson out in the middle. Cal, really good 5 overs prior to that. That was a pretty good one for them, though.
Yeah, it was. We know Benny Mac's got that in him, so we're just going to try and keep it out of his arc as much as possible. But we've been good. We've done everything we can so far. We've been good with our game plans, I think, so we've just got to make sure that we're ready for this next chance, and we've probably given them a couple of lives, so we've got to make sure we take this next one and give ourselves every chance.
What about the batting or with Fergie when you have a hit? Do you think you'll change it, or it'll be pretty much as per the program? Uzi and Watto, you at 3, that'll probably be it?
Yeah, I think so, but we have been willing to be a little bit flexible at times as well.
Okay.
Cheers, Cal. McDermott gives himself room, doesn't time it. Bunts it down the ground.
Well, they're both... Hobart Hurricanes base their attack on quicks, don't they, really?
Yeah.
So you want your best players playing against them, and those 3 should start. If it was a spinner, you might chuck Sams in to have a dash, maybe, Gene?
I don't think so. I think Fergie, what did he get his 100 off? How many balls in Perth? About 50 balls, wasn't it? So he can score as quick as anybody. Watto, we know that. He can club the spinner. So no, I'm keeping it as per the program, what we think. Kawaja, Watson, Ferguson, Dev Sitch with possibly Sams floating.
If you're just joining us, due to the run rates and permutations and as a result of what the Heat did last night to displace the Heat in the top 4, the Thunder need to win this game in a little over 11 overs and then hope the Melbourne Stars lose to the Sixers tomorrow.
Geez, the Heat have been cruel to the Thunder this season. Turn the lights off, then they play like that last night.
Didn't really get there, George Bailey, but threw his hands at it and hit it very nicely.
Yeah, good shot, gave himself a little bit. He likes that area against the spin, George. He likes to go through cover or mid-wicket. Spinning away from him, he likes to go that wide mid-off cover area. Beautiful seam. Sort of sliced it, but got enough.
Yeah, so the Thunder would have been cheering for the Heat last night, but then after about 6 overs,
put the brakes on.
I reckon they were cheering for the Stars to start bowling a little bit better than what they bowled.
It's incredible, wasn't it? The power play alone. Final ball for forward Ahmed tonight.
Shot.
None for 94 they were at the end of the power play. Best ever in the competition. 94 from 6 overs. And it's 10 from the over, 3 for 116. Let's have a look at the wickets. Paddy Cummins heavily.
BetUK.com. Whatever the game, it's odds on, we've got it covered. Your game, your way. And right now we're giving you a £5 free bet too. For the ultimate in sports betting. Wherever you are, whatever you want to play. Hit the target, BetUK.com.
Since then, we'll do it 35 off 30. Daly 17 off 17 with 4 overs to go now. They'll be looking at 10 and over, hopefully, which will get them to 156.
That's probably stretching. 11.2 overs. 11.3 overs to get 156.
Thunder will be hoping somewhere between the 6 and 10 mark. 8 runs per over gets them 148. They'll probably go. That's the limit, I reckon, June.
Well, whatever they get, they've got to go for it. So it's going to be entertaining anyway.
Oh, yeah, it won't. It'll be very entertaining.
Over in a hurry either way. Predict Biz 155. Pretty good all year, Predict Biz.
Yeah. Let's see. Write that down. See how good he is.
155. Bailey now, 17 from 17. Waited on the slow one, but picked out the fielder.
This could be a big over. Very important over by Chris Jordan.
You heading down to Hobart for the first semi, mate?
I'm not sure, actually. I was down for the second semi. So I'm just in negotiations with the powers to be. Fox. I think the second one will be in Sydney, won't it?
Most likely.
So it'd be an easy trip for me.
Would have thought so.
Down the highway to Sydney.
Oh, nearly chopped on.
Have you been to Hobart?
This season, no.
Maybe you should go to Hobart.
like Hobart.
Yeah, it was really nice. The ground the other day, the wicket was great.
Bushfires were last week, wasn't they?
Yeah, they had a little bit of rain yesterday in Tasmania, so hopefully it gave everyone in Tassie a bit of relief.
Your parents live down there, don't they?
They do.
So you're going to Hobart?
Yeah, I'm going to Hobart.
You're the anchor man down there, the #1 seed.
I'm not sure I'm Ron Bergen, the anchor man style, but I'll give him a best shot down there. Yeah, hopefully that rain continues down in Tassie. Oh, George Bailey doesn't time it, but he's just going to get over the 30-metre ring, but not hole out.
And they get 2 as well.
Not sure how they get 2 there.
They probably haven't got the quickest leg speed in the competition, the Thunder fieldsman.
What gave that away?
You've got Watto, you've got Uzi, you've got Fergie. That's 3.
Forward.
4. A few to hide out there. Fergie's got good hands, so has Watto. It's been widened. Chris Jordan's not too happy.
Well, the other thing is here. Yeah, it's outside. George hasn't moved too much either, so that's
just a wide.
But at the stage where you're telegraphing what you're doing all the time in this field, deep back at the point, deep cover, third man's up. He's really got to bowl wide, or he's got to bowl a slow ball into the wicket.
Shot. It was a full ball, not far for Yorker. Found the gap at mid-wicket. They're finding the gaps now, aren't they, Hurricanes batsmen? He just can't quite get it right, Chris Jordan. Even his Yorker, he just hasn't been on song.
Shane Bond's the coach for the Thunder, isn't he?
Yeah.
And John Bracewell, they're pretty much a New Zealand connection, aren't they?
Same as the Heat, Kiwis everywhere, and Stephen Fleming, Stars. There's a Kiwi, isn't there? What's going on?
Don't know.
Heat job up for grabs next year, Mark.
The what?
The Heat job up for grab next year, from all reports.
I thought that's what you said. Buffer might be the man there.
He's already taken to a title.
You wouldn't mind that, Buffer?
Never know what happens, do you, June?
Do a bit of coaching.
I'm commentating. I want to coach for.
You might be better at it.
You want to teach him how to catch?
You'd be a good coach. You'd be a great coach.
That's not very nice.
I'm saying you'd be a great coach.
You just said I'd be better at coaching than commentating.
What's wrong with coaching, by the way?
No, I don't mind.
It's not bad. You'd be very good at it.
Specialist coach. Come in.
Yeah? What, in and out? Float in and out?
Yeah. A bit like punter.
You got me wrong there. I think you'd be a fantastic coach.
Oh, I thought you were ripping into my commentary.
Not at all.
No, I didn't think you were.
I thought you were being cheeky.
Saying great commentator could be a brilliant coach.
Thank you.
3 for 1, 2 for 4 from 16.
No, one with Howie there.
No, I think you'll be the man there.
This partnership 53 from 43 with a bit of help.
Well, that was a great shot. Poor ball, but well played. That's what helped on its way. Well, good Yorker the ball before that. Into the wicket, slow ball. And then that one out of the ground.
Big blow.
10 to get that. 110 metres. Far that way. Over cover 4. Changing the bowling. Paddy Cummins is back on, and why wouldn't you have him on? And you think, you were talking about it before during his first 8 test matches. 32 wickets at 27. So may have bowled a little bit, just still pretty good. His next 12, he's got 62 at 19.4. Wow. So overall 94.22. So he's starting to get some rewards.
Yeah, exactly. It's a great record already. Throw his batting in and his fielding. Not a bad player.
He's bowling to George Bailey on 23.
George trying to make it more difficult than it should be. Little Watusi.
You mentioned Ricky Ponting there, coming on board for the World Cup.
Really good move. Yeah. Great experience, had success with Australia as a captain, as a player in the World Cup. So will help Justin. Justin didn't play in the World Cup, so it's probably a good move to Justin knows the game. He's had success anyway. But a good move, putting in that setup.
It's going to get away over the ring. Slightly over pitch from Cummins, and Bailey hits his fourth boundary.
Yeah, good shot. Strange delivery given the field. Third man's back. And you've got mid-off up and you're going to bowl full ball off stump.
Just got to hit that Yorker, don't you?
Yeah.
With a big wrap on.
If you're going to bowl Yorkers, you'd have your third man up, wouldn't you?
Yeah. Well, third man's been up for a lot of teams this year.
Justin Laing has been very open throughout the season in its entirety, Darren, but he's mentioned several times that it's a massive step up in scrutiny when you go from state to Australian level coaching. How did you find the scrutiny when you were in charge of the Australian team, and how did you deal with it?
Oh, it's huge. It's very tough. It's the toughest part of the job.
Is it?
Oh, definitely. I mean, up and down the chain from board level to media, and your prime concern is the players. That's the... You've got to try and get them playing better.
That's good from Bailey again. He waits on it. And one bounce over the rope, and this is handy now from Bailey. He moves to 31 from 25, 3 for 132. How did you deal with the so-called outside noise that we hear so much about these days?
I wasn't too worried about it.
Right.
Yeah, for me. But it's the toughest part of the job. Justin's finding that hard at times. And, the hardest thing is you're away 300 days a year. You don't sleep. You worry about the players you play with. You've got selection issues going on all the time. You've got media, you've got board meetings, you've got high performance meetings, you've got all these other things going on, and you've got to try and cater for the 6 state coaches, the 66 players playing around, the 25 contracted, 3 different formats, and then try and keep your family side going.
When you're bald.
I was about to say, it doesn't sound like a job you'd apply for.
When you're going bald.
Well, put it this way, I sleep now. You don't sleep.
Do you not?
No. 3 hours a day was about where you got.
Because your mind was ticking
the whole time. Yeah. So, and that's, Justin, I think will be a fantastic coach for Australia. So, it's just, he's got to find out what works for him. At the moment, he's probably not sleeping and not getting the results he would like. But, he'll get there.
Do you think the coach should be a selector?
Yes, I do.
Is it too much? Or no?
No, I think he should.
Yeah.
I think almost the captain coach has won.
Just throws his bat at it. Does Bailey? Would have been a wide, you would have thought. But it's another good over for the Hurricanes as they're starting to build right up now. All of a sudden, they've gone to 134 for 3 from 17. You just mentioned there before we move on, Darren, the 3 different formats. Is it the way to go?
Those your first 4 scorers?
All right, special one. You pick them. You pick them. Ah, challenge accepted. Brain cells, current prize money?
25 grand this week, Hunch.
Score a stats, Hunch? It's Hunch time.
1, Fabinho. 2, Vardy. 3, Sterling. 4, Harry.
Kane. Heed your hunch with Betway's 4 to score for a chance to win 25 grand this week.
And on tour, it's like you have a selector and a coach and a captain. That's all you've got, haven't you?
Yeah.
So on tour, definitely. At home, the hardest thing at home is you don't get to see. So I watch one Shield game. I reckon one Shield game a year for my 5 years as an Australian coach.
Wow.
One.
That's why I never took any notice of your input at the selection meetings.
Fair enough too. And that's right. And sometimes I literally had to go with, junior. Greg Chappell, Trevor Holmes. Wonder, deep backward point, because you just don't see the players. So, and you got to the stage where you can't. You just physically can't because you got so much else going on with the Australian team. And I think it's the best job in the world, by the way. If that makes sense, it was the best job in the world. I loved it, but you just physically can't do it for that. I think it's only a short-term job,
or not. Coaching all 3 formats.
Yeah, something like that. But, the hardest thing with that, sometimes you're going for a 3 one-day ODI series and you tack on 2 T20s then. Well, you're not going to change the coach, eh?
No.
So that's the thing. You sort of got to get someone in as an assistant.
You want consistency too, don't you?
Yeah.
So it's a difficult one.
Just 11 balls to go here now. We've lost 1 over due to rain for both sides. Quarter wide. Paddy Cummins has finished up his spell too. 4 overs, 14 dots, 2 for 28. So he's got a nice little 4 over spell done. 8 and over 151, 10 and over 154. It's going to be an interesting 11.2 overs, Mark Waugh.
Well, he can bowl one more, can't he?
Paddy's bowled his 4.
Yeah, well, every run's vital, isn't it?
It is.
Just so many to chase in 11.3 overs. They've got to get these couple of overs out the way first with the ball. Start getting that right. That's beautifully struck. Just the 2. Callum Ferguson out there.
I did play that 10 over competition. Dwayne Bravo was saying he really enjoyed it somewhere in the Emirates, was it? The 10 over competition, and scores there were sort of 150, 160.
Were they really?
Big scores. It was a 180 at one point.
What? 10 overs? Well, we saw it last night, 158, didn't we?
Well, the thing is, the Thunder know what they've got to do, so forget that it is 19 overs. It's just 11.3, and that's how hard you've got to go. It's a good batting track. You never know.
That's pretty high, long and strong from G. Bailey. Handsome as well, thank you. 3 for 144. Bailey all of a sudden now 41 from 29.
Well, now it's getting tight, June. They're at that 144 mark, aren't they?
Yeah, it's tough. And the slow ball, Sandhu.
Just checking everyone's okay there after that hit from George Bailey.
Someone's been hitting the crowd.
Yeah, I think so. Hopefully not
too bad, hopefully. Ooh.
George Bailey showing some concern. As is McDermott.
Dr. John Orchard's running around the boundary. I can see him.
Oh, the young bloke with his dad.
It's John Orchard.
His dad's got the young fella. Hopefully everything's okay.
I've got him on the full, or it's a rebound or not.
Yeah. Hopefully he's all right.
Shane Watson there a bit frustrated, I think.
A bit frustrated with the season, the way it's gone for the Thunder.
There he is.
He's all right.
Not down a cuddle.
Good on the dock for getting around there, and good on Dad.
Just a single this time. Surely keep the match ball, wouldn't he, after the game?
I think so, poor little fella.
George will run over there. George is looking over there now, George, to see if he's going okay, I think. Thumbs up. He'll go over there, George. Just give him some gloves or bat or whatever.
His partnership now 74 from 54 all of a sudden.
Just what they need with them leading into big semi-final.
Yeah.
Middle order getting a good hit.
Malenko's the only one that hasn't had a decent bat.
Second wide for the over.
So have we lost the art of bowling the stumps?
Bowling Yorkers at the stumps, yeah. The best Yorker bowler this season has been Matt Kelly. Scorches by a mile. He's got a really good Yorker, bowls it straight. Haven't seen many bowlers do it.
Who was the best in your day, like a Wacko Yunus?
Wacko was him.
Another wide.
This is really poor bowling. This is poor bowling, Howie. I'm afraid. 3 wides outside the wide line.
Yep.
Just not even giving himself a chance to bowl a dot or get a wicket.
Saw down in Tassie the other night, Riley Meredith bowl that 10 ball over. It was no balls.
I was down there.
Oh, it just kept going and going, poor fella. He's had a great tournament, it must be said. And McDermott danced around his crease. Sandu bowled to the same spot. And B. McDermott just went whack. Some partnership now, Wolf, 80 from 57. It's taken it from 145. All of a sudden, we're looking at 165.
Yeah, it has been. And look, they've bowled the same ball the whole time. They haven't even tried to York at the stumps or a length ball or anything. They've just bowled full and wide. This new age field, they've got it wrong. Sometimes you just got to do the basics well.
That would have been a wide as well. Chance for a catch. A little bit too far away from Usman Khawaja. And that's an expensive over from Sandu. 3 wides, it goes for 19. 3 for 153. 1 over to go. Callum Ferguson is out there. Cal, let's move on from what's happening in the field. How are you going to approach a run chase like this? You need to win it in less than 12 overs.
Yeah, look, there's going to be some super positive stroke play, I'd say. I think the guys are going to go out there and take the game on, play with a lot of freedom. If we can get away, you never know. We saw last night what can happen. So we'll be taking a positive approach. We'll be going hard at them.
Has Ernie Jude come in, quite skiddy on the wicket now?
Well, I reckon it must be. I reckon there's a fair bit of moisture in the outfield, but I just feel like that might be a bit of the rain from earlier that just hasn't dried off. So, it must have a little bit still on it, I reckon, the surface. It seems to be sliding on okay, and these guys are hitting the ball nicely. So there's a bit to like about it going into our batting innings, certainly.
It's going to be exciting, Cal.
Yeah. What's the key, mate, when you're chasing down a total like this early when you're batting, when your thoughts are batting? Not losing your shape?
Yeah, absolutely. Just swinging clean as much as possible. Find the middle of your bat. The outfield's going to slide on with the way the outfield is. A bit of moisture on it. So good, clean striking and not trying to overplay it too much. That can be a bit detrimental. So make sure we swing clean.
Thanks, Cal. Good luck. Appreciate it. Jordan de Bailey. Again, he goes over mid-off. This is developing into some innings. That was low, flat and hard. And it clears the rope. 48 now, George Bailey.
Well, another full wide one. Harry, I don't know how many times you have to say it. Just bolt the stumps, Chris Jordan. Or at least change it up. I mean, when they know it, batters know what's going on quite quickly with the field just setting. So sometimes you've got to change it up. They're now moving across, lining themselves up. So it's not a difficult shot, that one. So you've got to think about something different. They can't just do the same thing. Because at this rate, they won't even have a chance to get him in 11.3.
35 from the last 2.1 overs now. And that is an incredible shot from George Bailey. He's got enough bat on it to bring up his 50, and he's done it in fine style. Third of the season off just 32 balls, striking at 156.3. Well played, George Bailey.
Well, he's been good, hasn't he? All series for the Hobart Hurricanes. Yeah, he's having fun.
Yeah.
No captaincy responsibilities, just enjoying himself down the order. He said it the other night, he's really loved the fact that Wade and Short have played so well. They've just been able to go and play with that freedom at the back end of the innings, which he said the last few years that they haven't had that as much. Maybe last year, but they've made the final last year. That could have gone for 4 as well.
He should mid-off up. So what are you saying to your batsmen if you're in charge of the Thunder when they come in for this quick break?
Well, I don't think Hobart Hurricanes are bowl wide, so be prepared to go and try and hit the stumps, because that's what they try and do. They bowl quite tight lines. Use the pace. They've got some pace, the Hurricanes. And as I first said, keep your shape. Hit the gaps, it'll go for 4.
And how do you attack that straight line that you think is coming your way?
Well, they've got pace, so you can use the pace. They're going to have to, you've got 5 overs with the power play. So you've got 30 balls with only 2 men out. Well, I think you probably have to hit a dozen boundaries, 14 boundaries. Probably 14. Right. 1 in 2.
Okay.
To give themselves a chance to get an 11.3, won't they?
Well, they will, yep.
When you think about it, so.
Well, they're chasing down nearly 170.
So it's going to be on. It's going to be exciting to watch.
My word. 2 balls to go. We lost 1 over due to a slight rain interruption earlier on.
Probably come back for 2 again. Quick runners those 2. Yeah, it's one of those catch-22s here, because you think last night they got 158 off 10?
10 overs.
10 overs. So you're at that for 11.3 now, aren't you?
Yep.
Really? So it's going to do that sort of hitting. Difference is the ground had one really short side at the Gabba, so they hit a lot of 6s there. But when it stays hit, it's still 6 here. I mean, you know, but I just can't see Hobart bowling as badly as they did the other day. Riley Meredith went for 23 the first over. It was a long over. Thunder will need one of those. They'll need one of those overs in those first 5. They'll need a couple overs of 20.
Final ball of the innings, Bailey. It's a better finish. Should be a run out. And I reckon it is. He'll go upstairs, but I reckon George Bailey's going to be run out here for 53. Still a fine partnership of 94. Just wait for the 3rd umpire. Jordan elected to run to the stumps with the ball. Partnership 94 from 64. So George Bailey is run out off the final ball of the innings, but the Sydney Thunder, to give themselves any chance of playing finals, are going to need to make 166 off approximately 11.2 overs. Wow.
Well, it's going to be exciting. I'm looking forward to the next 30 balls when they get their chance after the break. Very happy with that, the Hurricanes. They played really well. I mean, lost the wicket early in Darcy Short, but Matthew Wade got away again, 45 off 29. George Bailey was fantastic in the backhand. And good to see Ben McDermott start to play his old way. Patrick Cummins, what a superstar. 2 for 28 off 4. And Green, 1 for 20 off 3, thanks to Maccas.
49 runs from the last 4 overs is what really hurt. The Thunder, 4 for 165. Sarah Jones is on the boundary.
Well, it's a big ask for the Sydney Thunder, needing 166 runs off their 19 overs, so just less than 9 and over, around 8 3/4 runs per over. They will have to bat awfully well against that normally very efficient and high-quality Hobart Hurricanes bowling attack, but they must do it. They certainly must try, otherwise they will not make the top 4 and the playoffs next week. We'll review that Hobart Hurricanes innings, including that terrific knock once again from George Bailey, when we come back.
Being captain, I know Fed Cup means a lot to all the British players. I want them to show how determined they are to help cement our place as one of the best in the world. Join me and the British Fed Cup team live on BT Sport.
Wonderful goal from Barkley. It's knock on and it's in.
Dear Britain.
Dearest Britain.
Dear old Britain.
We love you. We love you.
With all your different views on the world.
And your different stories to tell.
Maybe it's your big heart, baby.
Your sense of style.
Your sense of adventure.
Welcome to BA 100, make your way round.
The way you pick yourself up when things get tough.
Oh, and dust yourself off. Sorry.
BA 100, you're clear to take off.
How you follow your own path. How you tell it like it is.
Politely, of course.
You've led revolutions.
Of all kinds.
Yet you won't shout about it.
It's just not in your nature.
Instead, you'll quietly make history.
Pots. Yorkshire pudding.
Beds.
UK Garage.
Cake. Rabbit.
Ideas.
Honey.
And rather a lot of tea.
We love you, Britain. You make us who we are. ...2019 Mazda CX-5. Available with 0% APR. Drive together.
Business owners, we know how hard you work. Finally, get something back. Get cash back with the new Santander 123 Business Current Account.
Those your first 4 scorers?
All right, special one. You pick them. You pick them. You pick them. Ah, challenge accepted. Brain cells current prize money?
25 grand this week, Hunch.
Score stats, Hunch? It's Hunch time.
1, Fabinho. 2, Vardy. 3, Sterling. 4, Harry.
Kane. Heed your hunch with Betway's 4 to score for a chance to win 25 grand this week.
Yes, she thought, laying down her brush in extreme fatigue. I have had my vision.
What in a pattern, follow the rhythm. I disregarded all opinions and continue my mission. I'm a boss, let a snake in. Dedicated it all to the art. Who would have known it would be this from the start?
Welcome back. So who will finish 4th in this year's Big Bash and thus make the semi-finals next week? More clues tomorrow when the Stars take on the Sixers. The Sixers are already assured of their berth in the top 4. The Stars are not after that beating by the Brisbane Heat. They will need to bounce back if they can. If they can beat the Sixers at the MCG tomorrow, then they will take one of those 4 spots available. Here's how we stand in this one. The Sydney Thunder also still entertain thoughts of a top 4 finish, but they will have to go awfully well to beat the Hobart Hurricanes in the kind of manner that they would need. They'll need 166 runs. In a way, you can forget the 8.74 runs per over. They need to knock those runs off in 11.2 overs. So their actual run rate required in order to make the kind of progress on net run rate to overtake the Brisbane Heat will be much, much higher than that. Let's have a look at how Hobart got to their 165 for 4. Once again, skipper Matthew Wade to the fore, although he was reprieved twice early on. 2 drop catches, both guilty as charged. Fawad Ahmed. That one, as you heard perhaps in commentary if you were with us, Mark Waugh was pretty hot under the collar about that one. Matthew Wade, of course, as he does, took advantage. And not once but twice, same fielder, different part of the ground, but again spills the catch. A pretty regulation catch. And Ahmed looks suitably chastened. And Wade took full advantage again. Moving on via 3 4s and 2 6s to make 45 from 29. He and Darcy Short have been so often the backbone of a very, very successful season for the Hurricanes. And although Short went early, Wade once again contributing pretty successfully. As did the middle order partnership of Ben McDermott and George Bailey. Again, because of the platform so often set by the opening pair, they have been able to bat the middle order with more freedom. George Bailey, of course, who in the past has captained, and again, more help. That was incredibly Fawad Ahmed again spilling the fielding and allowing more runs to be scored, but Bailey was in the mood, as was McDermott. Both did their part, both played their part. Bailey finishing with 53, eventually falling on the last delivery of the innings. 19 over innings, to remind you. McDermott finishing 44 not out. A partnership worth 94 runs in the end off just 64 deliveries. Boundaries coming pretty quickly towards the end, just when the Thunder needed to rein them in. The Hurricanes, of course, had other ideas, as you'd expect. And they have set a very, very stiff target. Even allowing for 19 overs, it would be a tricky ask of the Thunder. But given that they need them in 11.2 overs, that is a towering task for the Thunder. They did, though, welcome back Pat Cummins. He was, as you'd expect, particularly adept with ball in hand, seeing off Darcy Short for just 7 with a terrific delivery. And he made that into 2 a little later. Also a wicket for Chris Green. Fair to say that Shane Watson was not going to spill that in the way that Fawad Ahmed had spilled earlier chances. Green's delivery seeing off Caleb Jewell. And, of course, Matthew Wade did eventually fall. Cummins, once again, terrific bit of bowling, finding that outside edge. Wicketkeeper tidying up. And on the very last delivery, Jordan able to run out George Bailey as they scampered for one more run. That was, of course, the last of their 19 overs. So Bailey was bound to run, but his work was largely done. 165 for 4 then off 19. The Thunder needing 166, but at much, much more than 8.74. They need to knock those runs off in 11.2 overs. They will have to go awfully hard right from the off. It'll be worth watching, and it's next.
So I can
vex my ex.
So I can
help my mates.
So I can
be more confident.
So I can
fight the fight.
Dance all night.
Hashtag fit. Endorphinate.
So I can.
Whatever you want from a gym, find it at The Gym.
This Wednesday, it's the Lotto Valentine Super Draw with a heart-stopping £14 million jackpot. Why not get an extra ticket for your special someone? Don't miss it.
This Wednesday, it's the Lotto Valentine Super Draw.
William Hill customers are enjoying bet boosts on their ACCAs. And now the boosts are even bigger. Choose the ACCAs that you want to boost and get better odds and more returns on your winners. Bet boosts are available every day, online and on mobile. All you need to do is create an ACCA with 3 or more selections, hit boost in your bet slip, and you're away. More control, more value, more to celebrate. William Hill. This is more.
Look, it's me. Giving out my credit card details. Sharing my passwords with strangers. Being hackers' best friend. Your sensitive online data is just as open to snoopers on public Wi-Fi. Connect to NordVPN. Help protect your privacy and enjoy advanced internet security. Download NordVPN now. 30-day money-back guarantee.
Millions are missing out by having a current account that doesn't pay them any interest on their hard-earned money. TSB offers interest to all their Plus account customers for no monthly fee. So if you're one of the millions missing out, talk to TSB.
...2019 Mazda CX-5. Available with 0% APR. Drive together.
Welcome back. Sun setting over Sydney and shadows lengthening over the chances of the Thunder qualifying for next week's semi-finals. The run chase will start shortly. Just time to tell you about some Premiership rugby for you. From midday today on 2, Northampton, fourth bottom in the Premiership table, take on the bottom side, Newcastle. That's live for you from midday on BT Sport 2 HD. So 166 runs required from, actually, although they haven't allotted 19 overs with a rain delay earlier, they have to, in order to achieve the net run rate required, the Thunder chase that 166 in 11.2 overs, which equates to just less than 15 runs per over. They're going to have to go like the Clappers, Khawaja, Watson and co. Can they do it? Going to have to bat awfully well against an attack that includes, of course, Jofra Archer, Riley Meredith, Clive Rose. There's some good bowling, as you'd expect from a Hobart Hurricane side who have led the way all through this Big Bash campaign. They will finish in top spot going into next week's semi-finals and would love to go into that on a winning run again. Can they see off the Thunder here, or can the Thunder get this one in the bag? Let's go back to Mark Waugh, to Darren Lehman and Mark Howard.
That's a legal delivery, and he had a quick look, Buff, because he had a rough start the other night.
Well, he did. That was quite interesting, because I was there the other night when you had this, and his first couple of balls were decent pace. Hurried up Marcus Harris, he bowled this one full to square leg for one, and he bowled a beautiful one to Aaron Finch, and then it went pear-shaped.
23 pear-shaped. No balls for over hip deliveries. Ten ball over in the end. Still, that was the other night. Gets another opportunity tonight. We welcome Mark Waugh back. Usman Khawaja.
Fresh out there, boys.
Very chilly. He loses his run up.
He was out pre-game as well, working out what way he was going to run in. He looks like he might have straightened up a fraction as well. He'd be nervous. There's no doubt about that. Tough night the other night. But he's got raw pace and can swing it.
Usman Khawaja made 100 here. A test match. He works it fine. Right, Mark Waugh, if you're out there batting, how are you going to approach it?
Very simple. What do you need? 166 off 11.3. What's that?
Lots. About 14 and over.
That's it. Whatever you got to do to get that. Okay. You have to take some risks, don't you? I mean, you got to go for it. You want to make the semis, you got to go for it. Simple as that. I suppose target your shots, your areas where you think you can hit boundaries easier than other areas. You've got that in the back of your mind, but you've just got to throw everything at it.
Square leg on the fence, third man on the fence. 5 over power play. Shane Watson on 999 runs for the Thunder.
Well bowled, a bit of shape. It's a good, proper delivery. Top of off stump.
It is. This is where it sort of went a bit pear-shaped for him from now.
He's had a couple of games where he's gone for plenty, Riley Meredith, but when you're that sort of pace, that can happen.
Well, he's fast.
So it comes off the bat fast too, doesn't it?
15 wickets, 8.4 runs per over. 39 against the Renegades. Another 39 against the Strikers, and a 42 against the Sixers. 43 last start. Watson cuts, beats the dive. First boundary.
Yeah, good shot, a little bit of width there. Riley Meredith and Shane Watson's too good to miss out on that. Finds the gap, most importantly. Just in front of point. Right on point, actually.
Brings up his 1,000 runs for the Thunder.
1,003.
There with Uzi. And Cal Ferguson also playing tonight. Oh, that's just a good shot, isn't it?
It's a beautiful shot. This time a little bit fuller from Meredith, and Shane Watson, perfect off drive for another 4.
Well, Shane Watson and Callum Ferguson, only 2 guys to get hundreds in this year's BBL for any franchise. So when he gets going, he can give it whack, as we know. He's a great player for Australia and many other franchises in T20 cricket. IPL final, he got 100 there, so he can score quite quickly, as we know. There's the first free hit coming up.
Another bit of umpiring by the batsman, Shane Watson, telling the umpire that's the second one. So that's a free hit. So on target at the moment, the Thunder anyway.
You happy with that? Oh,
yeah. Especially if this one goes for 6.
They'll be ahead of the game. You wouldn't want this one to be 5 wides like he bowled the other night. You do. I know you do.
Mate, I'm neutral, mate.
Yeah.
Just want to see a good game.
You are so not neutral, but anyway. So a free hit to Shane Watson. Loves it short. It's full, and it's high. Really high, man. Running all the way back. Gee, that's high. That's 6. The Thunder make a nice start.
Well, they're ahead of the run rate, aren't they?
They're flying.
Required.
That went high.
He hit a long ball. Now that one is close to wide. It's gone off the second ball. At least he only bowled 7 balls tonight, and that was a beauty. That's where he wants to bowl all the time. He can do that. Shot from Shane Watson.
Just got a bit wide there, didn't he? Then a bit full. Good bat speed though from Big Watto.
It's the final ball of the over.
And as high as it went long.
So to win it in the required time to boost themselves into the 4, they need about 14 and a half and over. Good news is they got 16 that over.
They can just have a little relaxation in this over.
Take it back to 12.
They can go to 12 in this over.
But they're going to have to do it against Jay Archer, one of the quickest bowlers in the competition.
Yeah, but the ball flies off too when you're that quick.
16 wickets this tournament.
That's 4.
Kawaji gets it away. Positive start for the Thunder.
Well, they're going to go for it. Yeah, it's a very good start. They're going to use the pace.
2 men up. No, sorry, only 2 men outside the circle, so boundaries are there to be had.
Well, I said in the power play they had to hit probably 12 to 15 boundaries to give them a chance at chasing the total. That's 1 every 2 balls. So they've got to get moving.
Kawaji gives himself room. He's got coverage out there. There's 1 man on the point fence and 1 on the square leg fence.
Well, Archer's bowled quite well, hasn't he, for Hobart at different times? It hasn't been as good as last year.
No, I think he's been a little bit down on last year's performance, but it's always tough at the second year when batsmen sort of know what you've got. But he's still good. I mean, he's got his fair share of wickets.
16.
16, so he's up there, isn't he? And he probably hasn't bowled as well as he would have liked. So no men out on the offside at all.
It's a good Yorker.
It's a very good Yorker. It's a slower ball Yorker. It might have been almost a leg cutter, was it? 19 Ks, but it was right on the money.
Well, he'll play in the World Cup for England, you would think.
He's eligible, is he, that early?
Yeah, he is.
Yeah, it was a leg cutter. I think so.
Doesn't time it, Watson. Gets away with it. Clive Rose.
And that's why he's so dangerous to play, because he just goes up.
Yeah, knocks about hard. If I was Shane Watson, I'd definitely be batting outside leg stump, looking to hit through the offside. Looks like the West Indies type of bowler from the 80s, doesn't he?
It's a slow one. Good variety from Archer.
That's a leg cutter again.
We'll need a boundary off the last over June here, I think.
Off the last ball, yeah.
Last ball.
third man's going to go back now, is he? Yep. So the point will come up. Square legs back as well.
Great over from Jofra Archer, just 6 from it. None for 22 from 2. Ben McDermott is mic'd up for us. Mark Howard here. Ben, good evening to you.
Hello, mate. How you going?
Hey, nice to speak to you. Firstly, 44 from 36 and 1 massive 6. What about it tonight?
Thank you. Cheers. Yeah, it was nice to get some runs and hopefully contribute to a win.
Especially with the limited opportunities you've had in the middle order. Nice to get a good go at it coming into the finals.
It's sort of bittersweet, isn't it? Those sort of top have been batting extremely well, so happy not to get too much time in the middle, but it's nice to score runs when needed.
Yeah, you look like Ben. It's good for you, mate. You look like you got more confidence today as the game went on.
Yeah, it's, with the rain about it, got a little bit sticky. Buzz was spinning it a little bit, and the wicket just got a little bit better as the innings went by. Naturally, but yeah.
And the whole team's batting's been especially good at the top, but your bowling has also been pretty lively throughout the competition so far. You've got some good quick bowlers.
Yeah, that's it. We've got a lot of pace and now a good inclusion with our spin as well. So hopefully get us to the final. Yeah.
That's very short. It's called a wide. You mentioned Case, the man that's come in. Case Ahmed out of Afghanistan. How's he fitted into the group? 2 for 30 odd the other night. His last 2 balls got hit for 6. Prior to that, he was absolutely brilliant.
Yeah, that's it. He was really good for us. Sorry, guys. Yeah, he's been really good around the group so far. His English is average, but he's a good bloke.
Is he hard to pick?
Yes, very hard to pick. He's got a lot of balls.
Thank you, Ben.
Thank you.
Pretty hard there when he's concentrating where to go, isn't it? Put him off a little bit.
He gets a big high one to catch it. That'll be the next thing.
There is the high one. Catch should be taken. Should be the end of Watson. It is. George Bailey, safe hands. And that's really going to hurt the Sydney Thunder.
Yeah, it's a big blow. Shane Watson was one of the key men at the top. Short ball from Riley Meredith. Maybe just come off the pitch a bit slower than Shane Watson was expecting. He's trying to hit it. Not really sure where he's trying to hit it. Maybe over mid-off, was it?
Yeah, he should have probably given himself some room, and it's just gone almost sat in the wicket a bit too much, didn't it?
Yeah.
Straight in the air.
George Bailey takes the catch. He's only got little hands, George Bailey, but he catches well.
Yeah, he does catch them, which is amazing. He has got small hands. Disappointed Shane Watson there. 15 off 9. Take a risk, that's the thing. You're chasing this sort of total, so it's now 1 for 23.
I've brought good grilling to Great Britain because a tasty footy match is like a juicy burger. There's 2 halves, buns, your star striker, patty, red cards, ketchup, yellow cards, mustard, corners, cheese. And to top it all off, a little bet. I'm going each way for a draw.
Don't bet silly, bet savvy.
The new Build Your Bet has thousands of combinations to choose from. So why request a bet when you can easily build your own and get your prize instantly? The smart money's on Coral.
The ball short to him. And I think he'll step away, use the pace more than probably Shane Watson will try and hit his way out of it as such.
He's more a timer of the ball, isn't he? Callum Ferguson hits it sweetly.
Oh, well played by Khawaja.
Leg glance, Riley Meredith. He's got his 2 men out on the leg side, so he's got to bowl straight. But what you can't do is get outside the line of the batsman's pads and give him a free hit.
He runs in fast, doesn't he? Runs in really fast. I mean, he's got a nice action. Brett Lee thinks he's got a beautiful action to bowl fast, so it's a good sign.
Very angled run too. Probably starting about 10 metres wide of the actual stumps.
Well, I'll tell you who he runs in like. Dale Steyn. Very similar.
if he has as much success as him, he's going to be a pretty good bowler, isn't he?
Yeah, just have a look at him next delivery. Because Stain comes in on a bit of an angle. His arms are very similar in the position that Dale Steyn runs in. Just back of a length. Shane Watson trying to manufacture a shot. That's what you've got to do when you're chasing over to a ball. Unfortunately, didn't quite time it. To see if there's a bit of Dale Steyn in this.
The arms. Oh, that's hit Khawaja and hit him hard.
Gee, we've seen a lot of batsmen hit at this particular ground. It did hit him quite hard. Looks okay though at the moment. Got him just above the left eye maybe.
So he's got a little lump there straight away too.
Got him
flush, didn't it?
Yeah, looked like it just decked back at him actually. Do the concussion test there.
Replace the helmet.
What is the test? They ask you where you were, who's bowling, all those sorts of things.
Yeah, it looks like a bit of a lump there as well. Side of his cheek. Seems okay. They'll ask some questions, you know, day it is, blah, blah, blah. Where are you? But then we had delayed concussion in the test match, didn't we?
Yeah.
With Pereira. He sort of went off after resuming batting, so hopefully that doesn't happen, but it's a quick delivery.
It's a good bouncer, right on the money. And normally probably Khawaja might get under that, but given the game situation, he's trying to hit a boundary. And it's a free hit. He's called that a no ball.
That's right.
Second one of the over. It's another free hit. Didn't change his lid, did they then?
I don't think they did. I think if it hits the grill, it's a bit different. So
originally called a wide, but as the second bouncer, it's now been called as a no ball, which means it's a free hit to Usman Khawaja. Good Yorker at 141.2 clicks. They need to come back for 2. Good running from Cal Ferguson.
Yeah, good Yorker there. So there's been 8 runs off this over, 2 balls left. They probably need to hit it again. Another boundary or 2. It is very hard to hit someone hyperfield, someone straight down the ground that bowls that fast. That's going to be hard work.
You talked about at the start of the innings using the bowler's pace, Darren.
Third man and point is he'd probably go, I would think.
That was short, and that is hit really hard. Good response from Usman Khawaja.
Beautiful shot. Followed him a little bit, stepped away, gave himself some room. Very good shot from Usman Khawaja there.
Just that hip height and just helped it on its way. With that pace, watch out there, kids. It was humming along.
Another long over from Meredith. Good finish, just 124.6 that last delivery. 1 for 34 from 3.
William Hill customers are enjoying bet boosts on their ACCAs. And now the boosts are even bigger. Choose the ACCAs that you want to boost and get better odds and more returns on your winners. Bet boosts are available every day, online and on mobile. All you need to do is create an ACCA with 3 or more selections, hit boost in your bet slip, and you're away. More control, more value, more to celebrate. William Hill. This is more.
19 overs due to that little shower we had early on in the Thunder innings.
He hasn't played at all for the Thunder this season. I find that hard to believe that he's not playing anywhere.
you would have been happy to see him get a 100 mark. In all seriousness, you've been telling me for 4 years how good he is and how he'll get his opportunity.
Very consistent player, and he just needed to convert those 60s and 70s in Shield cricket into 100s. He got the 200s in the tour match down in Hobart. Bang, he's in. Gets 100 in his second test. So great to see. He's a good young man, good temperament.
First ball to Ferguson. He looked very assured, didn't he?
He's actually not that old. What is he, 24, 25? You think he's been around?
He's tall.
Quite a while, but he's still only developing as a player, really. You can only make runs against your opposition. Yes, Sri Lanka, they're not the world's best attack, but you've still got to score the runs.
Drop the first ball.
Need a bit of luck. You need a bit of luck, don't you? You've got to take advantage of that luck when you get it. It could have been a different story, couldn't it? Fine line between success and failure.
Can't beat the field. Just that Curtis Patterson there, sitting next to him, Shane Watson, as much cricket as he's played, just hates getting out in a team way. Just always so disappointed when he gets knocked over, Shane. You saw him throw the gloves off.
And he's steaming.
Yeah.
He'd be upset with that, especially being beaten by a short ball.
It's pretty nice from Khawaja. Brings up his first 6.
Very nice. Would have had his heart in his mouth for a little while there. That man out there, Darcy Short, made good ground. Looked for a fleeting moment like he might make a big dive at the ball. And lovely timing. Get it flat, didn't he? Sitting back against Archer. Ooh, just out of range for Darcy Short.
Just that. Good start from Khawaja, 22 from 13. Giving up his end of the bargain so far. Gets under the short one.
It's quick, that one.
He bounces today.
It's been a few, yeah. Well, they've Hobart, different to other BBL teams, they really rely on their quicks, don't they? Clive Rose will bowl maybe straight after the power play tonight. He's been bowling in the power play for them. Leahy helps the course. They've got well-balanced attack.
Helps with variety, doesn't he? Case Ahmed, leg spinner. Darcy Short's bowled quite well at times. He's more than handy. And that's well bowled. That's a good Yorker. I think Shane Watson will be frustrated with the way the season's unfolded for the Thunder. I thought that after the first couple of games they were definitely one of the top 4 teams, but they've been so inconsistent. They won their first 2 and I thought definitely top 4, but they've let themselves down. They've had a bit of bad luck with weather and the lights, but they've had their chances against some of the other teams. That's in the air. And that'll be out. Or will it be out? No, it won't be. Didn't get a hand on it. Draw for Archer. Should have been out, but they looked at each other then at the last minute. Archer, who can take a specky, but he can drop a sitter as well. Doesn't get a glove on it.
And didn't get a run either.
And nothing. Can we have that ball again? That was a shocker.
And then lay on the ground doing what a small child does when they don't get what they want in the supermarket. Started throwing his hands and feet in the air.
Let's just have a look at it. How on earth do you not get a hand on that?
I think he was a bit worried about.
He was at the start, but then he actually settled himself.
Yeah, they lost Butler as well, who was so good for them at the start of the tournament, the Sydney Thunder. He started wonderfully well, didn't he?
Well, Butler played well, but Root, Devcich and Jordan have been major disappointments. The game against the Renegades was the real costly one down at Marvel Stadium when Cameron Boyce got 50 off 20 balls.
Oh, when they were going to bowl them out for about 110.
Yeah, and they made 140 and lost that game.
It's a remarkable innings from Boyce. Well played from Khawaja. Takes Moody's first delivery for 4.
And then they played poorly in the Sydney Smash against the sixth bowler for 128 after being back none for 30 off the first 2 overs. So they're the 2 games I'll look at.
And they probably would have won that light effect.
Yeah.
against the Heat.
Oh, probably.
So, mind you, that they still wouldn't have had enough points. If they lose this, they'd be on 12 anyway, wouldn't they? So
that's true. Anyway, it is what it is. They're still in the hunt here. Some good batting. There might be a sniff. Oh, that's 4-2. It's a bottom edge. Matthew Wade probably should have done a bit better there. 4-4. One huge over they need.
They do. We said they had to be 70, didn't we? I mean, they're not out of it. If they need a couple more boundaries this over, they're going to be 60.
Maybe not a bit harsh on Matthew Wade there. It skipped off the turf, didn't it?
Pressure on Moody now. For 2 boundaries. First 2 balls of his spell.
He's only a youngster. David Moody, good prospect. That's good pace.
That'll be a wide.
What's he's related to Tom, isn't he? He's
nephew,
yeah.
He's from WA. Yeah. Adam Griffith would have got him across, obviously. He worked with him as a bowling coach with the Scorchers and WA. So he would have got him across to the Hurricanes. Bright future, but pace. Nice action, nice smooth, easy action.
Fine legs staying up. 2 men out of it. Third man now. Square leg. Wide third man. That's a new modern position down there, that wide third man, isn't it?
Straight to him. Well placed, young man.
Well bowled too.
Well, 9 off 3. This is the over, June, when they've got to go bang, bang, bang.
Yeah. The other bowler might target the 2 spinners. Well, they're going to target everybody, really. They can't afford it. Quite over or 2, can they?
Not really.
Run rate required over 16 now. Started at 14.5 to make their way into the top 4. Ferguson takes him on over the offside. Doesn't time it that well, but it's got a bit of top spin. Starts to run now. Work on the boundary. Malenko mops up and whips it in.
Big 2 balls. Huh?
Yeah. Every ball's big.
He's trying to be a bit funky, is he?
Yeah, I'd love to see him hit that for a cover drive.
Yeah.
You got to premeditate for those sort of shots. Then when the ball's not where you want it to be, it's pretty tough to lay bat on ball. He's copped another one on the, might have been on the chest or the chin then.
You see him get down a little bit lower than that, don't you? Play that sometimes. Didn't know where it was. It's beaten that man. It's going to go for another 4. So a good finish to the over there. 17. That's what they needed. And he's going. Slower ball.
Join Bet365 and discover the power of the world's favourite online betting company. Instant match updates, in-depth analysis, live streaming. The Bet365 app is so advanced, it will blow your mind. Now please, gamble responsibly.
Archer never laid a glove on it, so survived, and then Usman Khawaja got a couple of streaky shots away down to fine leg.
It's a comparison. see 8 4s and 2 6s. They're 14 runs ahead, but they get moving in the back end with George Bailey, and that's obviously over 20 overs. They've got to get him 11.3. So 16, 6, 12, 8 and 17 off the last. So a couple of good overs.
Qais Ahmed into the attack. New recruit. 18 out of Afghanistan. 2 for 34, but he did get hit for 6 off his last 2 balls against the Renegades. Got Aaron Finch out. And he nearly got Cal Ferguson out first note.
He bowls quite fast like Rashid Khan. It was impressive the other night. You won't fancy this cold weather, you wouldn't think.
No, he's freezing out there. Oh, it gets cold up in Afghanistan, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Up in the hills there.
Extremely.
It snows.
Very cold.
That was at 90.2 kilometres an hour.
Yeah, he's fast. He's got a decent line. Rocket arm. Watch him throw one in June when he gets a chance.
Good.
Runs about in the field. He didn't put a foot wrong the other night, Barry dropped a catch at the fine leg, and his last 2 balls went for 6 from Mackenzie Harvey.
400 runs for the tournament now for Cal Ferguson. Bowls Usman Khawaja. Stump on the ground. And that's another big blow for the Thunder.
It is a big blow. Handy little knock by Khawaja, but persisting with the reverse sweep, which he plays very well. But Qais Ahmed's quick through the air, as you mentioned. That's the flipper, I reckon. And it's hit the seam, and that's a good bit of bowling.
Yeah, very good bowling there. Skidded on. It's got all the variations. Loves it. Loves it when he gets a wicket. Revelation, all the Afghani spinners have come in to the BBL, haven't they? The way they've gone about it. Khawaja, 36 off 21. Good strike rate.
Only disappointing thing about that, your man Qais Ahmed does have a somersault in his repertoire when he gets.
Let's, and everybody! Big game today, eh? If you like a bet, check this out.
Correctly predict 3 scores on the Ladbrokes app and we'll give you £100 in cash. Get your 1, 2, 3 predictions in for free.
That's wicked. No, this is wicked, mate. I fancied a walk anyway.
Ladbrokes, where the nation plays.
Tell you what, they've got some decent spinners, Afghanistan. They're going to be a handful in that first World Cup match in England.
Against Australia?
Yeah.
I think Australia will be fine. Because it's at Trent Bridge. It's a good wicket. It doesn't spin. And it's got some pace.
Mohammed Nabi's been called up, so he's out of the Renegades team for the finals as well, for international duties.
Laurie Colliver's just told me that it's at Bristol, not Trent Bridge. That's a bit of a difference.
Bristol, that's a bit of a
turner, slow turner.
Bit of a pudding sort of wicket, isn't it?
Yeah, a little bit different.
A lot smaller ground, though, than Old Trafford, isn't it? Bristol.
Very small, but it does spin. So you may be right.
Great start by Qais Ahmed. A wicket and just 4 from it. 2 for 63. Sarah Jones is on the boundary.
Yes, and I've got Usman Khawaja with me now, who's just recovering, obviously, from that nasty knock to the face. How are you feeling?
Yep, I'm fine.
Tough conditions for you guys, knowing just how aggressive you have to be. Was it nice playing with a bit of freedom out there?
You always play the freedom in T20 cricket. We just knew we just had to keep going. Unfortunate to get out, but we're just going to have to keep going here because we need lots of runs quickly.
Callum Ferguson is obviously in wonderful form at the moment. Have you got the confidence that he can really use his experience to dictate terms?
Yeah, look, we're just going to need to go. Get a lot of boundaries, a lot of fours, a few sixes in between there. Still a lot of runs to get, as I said. So.
Talk to us about the wicket, how you found it out there.
It's a nice wicket out there. The odd one's just up and down. Sorry, more up than down. But it's a nice wicket out there, and the outfield's nice too.
What about on a personal note? Happy being back at Canberra, a place where you did so well with that century last week?
Yeah, look, I'm just happy being back in Thunder. Didn't get to play much BBL this year, so it's been nice. The boys have been really good, really welcoming as always, so I've had fun.
All right, tense moments now. Can they do it?
I hope so.
Well done.
Thank you to Sarah and Usman. Just had a Slight lump, I reckon, where he got hit by that short ball. Now Darcy Short there, employing spin at both ends. 8 wickets for the tournament. Oh, and nearly had a 9th.
He bowled well the other night. First wicket maiden in his BBL career.
He's got potential with the ball. Lands him quite well. He just needs to bowl more, doesn't he? Get some confidence. Confidence under pressure in game situations.
That's the thing. You've got to bowl more, don't you, in the game?
Yeah.
Certainly got all the deliveries you need.
It's just a matter of getting consistent. And they need some lusty blows here, the Thunder. They need a bit of a runner, 6s or 4s.
It's a big ground too. You've got to hit the gaps, don't you? Or go right over. You'll be able to pick the left arm triangle to start with and then hit it over the top.
100 off 5, 20 and over, Laurie's telling me now.
Say that again.
100 off 5, 20 and over. That'll help. Well played, Cal Ferguson.
So just over 3 a ball. That's easier, I reckon.
Okay. That's a lot in anyone's terms, no matter how you break it down.
There's a 6. There's twice what they need in that ball. Loves that shot. Callum Ferguson just opens up his front leg and slog sweeps it beautifully.
Tied that ball, didn't he?
It's a lovely timing ball. Class player.
Yeah, bowl probably Wrongan's really wide. Ferguson knows he's going well. He'll move across his stumps.
Skied might fall safely. It does. A bit of fortune tonight, Cal Ferguson. Dropped by that man, Jofra Archer, off his own bowling earlier on.
Where's Devsic going to hit it, Joe?
Well, he loves mid-on. I've seen him get caught on the mid-on fence a lot, but that's his area. The slog sweep. That's not very good. And he's tried to whack that over mid-off. Case Ahmed takes the catch. Darcy Short gets a wicket. That's pressure, isn't it? When you need to hit 4 a ball or 3 a ball. Can't blame Devsic for playing that shot.
No, he's playing for the team, isn't he? He can't do anything about that. Let it go.
Just bowled into the pitch, wasn't it? A bit quicker by Darcy Short. Top edge. And he takes the catch easily, so the Thunder lose their 3rd one. And Devsic out for 4, 3 for 73.
Those your first 4 scorers?
All right, special one. You pick them. You pick them. You pick them. Ah, challenge accepted. Brain cells, current prize money?
25 grand this week, Hunch.
Score stats, Hunch? It's Hunch time. 1, Fabinho. 2, Vardy. 3, Sterling. 4, Harry
Kane. Heed your hunch with Betway's 4 to score for a chance to win 25 grand this week.
11 and 42 off 25 in his first 5 innings, Sam. So started well. Since then they've dried up a bit, as you alluded to earlier on, Mark.
Yeah, I think he just lost confidence in his batting and bowling for whatever reason, which can happen. But on his day, he's a good player, very good player.
Not easy coming against 2 wrist spinners, though, is it?
Well, not Case Ahmed, who he would never have even seen, and he's got a good array of deliveries. That was a beautiful delivery that got Khawaja. It's a genuine flipper.
Fantastic ball. Haven't got much time to have a cider, have you, either? He's got to get 20 and over.
And sometimes when you're in this frame of mind, you don't watch the ball as close as you should. You're just looking to whack it, and you're not really focusing on the ball. $95K, so it's quick through the air.
Yeah, he's quick. When you think about it, short, they've got Lee, the left arm, and they've got the finger spin, left arm finger spin of Clive Rose. And they've got quick bowlers. Got it all covered, haven't they? That's why they finished top.
Yeah, and top class batting. And they've had a pretty settled team, really. They haven't lost any players to Australian duty.
No, they lost Mills at the start of the tournament, which gave Meredith an opportunity, and he worked out really well for them.
That's right. I mean, Archer's going to play all the way through.
Yeah, not losing any to international duty is a big key, isn't it?
Mm.
Hasn't gone for a boundary yet in his 2 overs. Cass?
Doesn't look like it, really. Bowling into the pitch, isn't he? Fast.
Inside edge from Sams. So Case Ahmed, when they're absolutely going for him, 2 overs, 2 dots, 1 for 11, 3 for 80 from 8. So, well, the 11.2 looks a long way away, but then we move into the second half of the innings, which is all about just winning the match.
Well, actually going all right to just win it. They're on target. You need that 7.82 to win the game.
There's got to be some message coming out from Curtis Patterson there to Callum Ferguson and Dean Sams, whether it's actually try and win the game and not worry about it.
Due to the fact that Thunder needed to win in approximately 11.2 overs to displace the Heat in the top 4 and potentially play finals. If they're not able to do that, they can still win the game but won't feature in the finals. But it all comes down to the Stars, who play the Sixers on Sunday, which is tomorrow.
That's right.
At the MCG. If the Stars win that, then they will finish top 4.
Displace the Heat.
That's right.
We'll soon find out what they're going to do here, won't we? Whether they're going to actually say, you know what, we just try and win the game. I think Daniel Sams will give us an idea, won't he, Gene?
Yeah, well, he probably only knows one way to go. Daniel Sams. Well, what's the equation in 11.3 overs?
Lots.
85 off
3.
Off about 20 balls. That 4 ball. No, can't do it, can you?
Can try though. Who do you like tomorrow, Stars Sixers?
That's a tricky one. Both teams are capable. Sixers have been really good, haven't they? Their overseas players have been excellent. Tom Curran has been tremendous. James Vince is a good player. That's gone straight up. It won't be an easy catch, judging by the catching tonight, but no, it's gone down to.
I think the Sixers lose Tom Curran as well, if they haven't already, to 50 over cricket in the Caribbean.
Yeah, okay, that's going to hurt them. Oh, look, the Stars, apart from their hit out against the Heat, have been pretty good, haven't they, the last back end of the competition?
Yeah, MCG, bigger ground, might suit him a bit more. Nathan Lyon back for the Sixers.
I'll tell you what, both teams need some catching practice. David Moody underneath this one, and he looked confident, didn't he?
He did. He's gone, oh, how have I missed that?
You got a glove on it anyway.
Yeah.
It'll be short of mid-on. Yeah, that's a tricky one, Howie. Do you fancy the Stars, Buffer, down at MCG?
I think just the MCG, they know the conditions well there. The big players have to fire tomorrow. 2:15.
Another opportunity. Surely this is going to be taken. It is. Malenko takes the catch. Sams goes 4 for 85.
just playing the same shot to every ball. Daniel Sams just losing his shape, coming up and under the ball. And he had to go for it, obviously. But just shot execution not quite right there.
He's sort of lost his shape at the back end of the tournament, hasn't he? Lost his confidence a little bit. But started the tournament so well. So, okay, taking the catch there. They finally caught one, so they'll be happy there. 7 off 7. That's 4 for 85.
It is not the critic who counts. The credit belongs to the man who is actually in the arena, who knows great enthusiasms, the great devotions, who spends himself in a worthy cause, who at the best knows in the end the triumph of high achievement.
Watch out for that flipper again, I think. That might be coming again.
'50 on debut in Perth for Matty Gilks. He's out of the side through injury. He's back.
So it is Gilks, not Gilks.
According to Laurie, who knows all. First ball, Gilks is gone. Case Ahmed. Well, he is going to be a very big key in the finals. 2 for 11 he's got already. And the Thunder are now 5 for 85.
Well, stump to stump, beating for pace, didn't he? Be interesting to see if it pitched on. Outside.
Nice to see what it was. Was it a wrong one?
He flipped his bat around. He's quite confident, the umpire. I wanted to see the forward flip too, by the way.
Finals.
Finals.
Save the finals. Well done to the Hurricanes recruiting department, though. Other teams have lost international players, and obviously this man was around the traps. The Hurricanes have decided to go with him after the retirement of Johan Botha. It's an inspired decision.
Yeah, and it brings good balance to their bowling side, because that's what they lacked, Aristi.
I wonder what the Heat will do. Will they be recruiting or waiting to see where they get in? Obviously they're waiting to see where they get in. If they get in...
That's outside leg, isn't it? Yeah. Looked like it, didn't it?
Lost Mujeeb, obviously. You got a spot for another one? Had someone big there, wouldn't you, for a semi-final?
Gee whiz, my word. So you don't have to qualify, don't have to play any games?
No, you just got your four overseas, haven't used them yet, have they? So...
Who are you thinking of?
Well, I'm thinking if I'm going from the semi-final, you go the best you can get. Well, Vera Coley won't play, but...
Give him a call, though.
You'd certainly be bringing AB de Villiers, wouldn't you?
Has he been playing?
Bangladesh. Been playing.
They're finished.
What about Big Dre Russ? Where's he floating around?
I don't know. Just throwing it out there, Howie.
I like it. I think Coley's a bit ambitious, but apart from that, I think it's a great
He's
plan.
on holiday. Just come back for a game, Vera. Mind you, he said after cricket he's not going to play any cricket, did he? Around the world, he's just going to play to India, and that was it.
That's it.
So, yeah.
I suppose when you're earning 40 million a year, you don't need the pocket money, do you? Play around the traps.
Yeah, true.
No. Oh, that was an interesting one.
Johnny Howard. We're in Canberra. That was a Johnny Howard.
Johnny Howard. Oh, jeez. Got away with it, though.
Cold those fingers. How did you get away with that?
I think we can focus on the game proper now. 80 required from 56. It's a good point. So Mujeeb's off elsewhere.
Yeah, is he back? Maybe he's back. He's finished. But they've only played one the other night, didn't they?
Mm-hmm.
Nabi's going for the Renegades, isn't he?
Direct hit. Ooh, yep. Nabi is off for national duties.
So Mujeeb will be the same.
5 for 88 from 10.
Rashid Khan the same.
take us through the mark, Raw.
Yeah, Shane Watson looking to go over mid-off, got it high on the bat. George Bailey took the catch there off Riley Merida, who bowled with good pace, bowled quite short. Then Case Ahmed got Usman Khawaja playing the reverse sweep, might have been the flipper, which cannoned off stump. And Devsic looking to go for 4 ball. Darcy Short chimes in with a good wicket. Then Daniel Sams looking to slog sweep Darcy Short again. Top edge straight up to Malenko. And then the last one, Matthew Jukes, a bit unlucky, pitched outside leg, but it was given out. Case Ahmed gets his 2nd wicket.
Darcy Short to continue. The spinners have been good. 5 overs, 4 for 29 between them, this pair. Bowling to Green.
Get back, Fergie.
So if all our ducks are in a row here, Darren, that would mean the Renegades are in a similar position.
Well, that's right. So we could have a couple of new overseas. How many overseas have they played, though, the Renegades? You can only have 4 in your season.
Okay.
They've had Nabby.
Gurney.
Shawash.
Yep. Shinwari.
Shinwari.
Gurney.
There's 3. Played someone else.
Testing us now.
Yeah, I know. It's part of the challenge, isn't it?
Oz is having a look at the squad as we speak.
So there'll be some recruitment going on behind the scenes at the moment, I'd imagine. Obviously got to wait to see who gets in.
Yep, just 3. Important job, though, isn't it?
Oh, yeah.
Choosing that player.
Well, that's the challenge at the moment with all these other different leagues out there, but also, you know, international commitments to get a player to play the whole lot is pretty hard. Bowled into the wicket from Darcy Short there for a single. That's the challenge in BBL. Yeah, international commitments, you really want the guy to be around the whole time if you can and have an impact. Someone like James Vince came in and after Joe Denley and did a good job for the Sixers. You don't mind one swapping over, I suppose, at various times. Once you get more than that, it's pretty difficult.
But you can also be a victim of success, can't you? If Curran has a good period for the Sydney Sixers, all of a sudden he moves up the English radar and he's off to the Caribbean to play 50-over cricket.
Well, he was playing the one-days for him anyway, wasn't he? So, but he had a great BBL for the Sixers, didn't he? So,
yep.
They're easy.
Plenty coming up on Fox Cricket, including the Night Watchman. If you haven't seen this show, it featured Mark War a couple of days ago. Highlighted some of your earlier work this season. The other night I was watching Mark and nearly fell off the couch about what those
some of my work.
Yep. We won't delve too far.
What sort of work was that?
It doesn't matter, but it was. I was surprised I got to wear green facing Case Ahmed.
Bit harsh, was it?
Oh, it wasn't harsh. It was just. I didn't think it'd get replayed. We'll just leave it at that.
Okay. Oh, well, it's the greatest form of flattery, isn't it? Imitation.
That's exactly right.
Well, 1 ball.
They require 72 balls.
Come on, we can do it.
They've actually got 2 balls, Wolf. So
have they? 2 balls, and that's it. At the end of their season.
10 no balls in a row.
And just whether they can win the actual game. With Cal Ferguson still there, they're a big chance. So, if we had a live cross to Chris Lynn's place, he'd be jumping around on his couch now, celebrating, no doubt.
Definitely.
Ben Cutting would be.
Still alive, aren't they?
Hello to the Brisbane Heat boys. Brendan McCullum, that's great news. We'll get to see potentially him play again, depending on what happens with the Stars tomorrow. Well done, Matty Wade. They go upstairs.
Spin there for Case Ahmed. Slowed that up a bit and turned.
Not overly confident, are they?
No, Matthew Wade, you can never tell. He's pretty vocal at the best of times. Chris Green, big reach. Does he get it down? Yes, I think he does.
It's good reach, isn't it?
Yeah, he's long legs.
What about Chris Green? Got out call there. His run out the other week.
Oh, when he
back.
Good piece of keeping for Matthew Wade there.
Sam Harper was never going to take the bails off, was he? And he just took them off and didn't even realise it. Chris Green had dug his bat into the side pitch at Marvel Stadium. You can't do that.
Green gives himself room and squirts it away through the offside. No, I'm sure it's a Saturday night. Chris would be at home with a cup of tea watching
the
cricket. Yep, Chris Lynn would be, and then they'll watch tomorrow with interest when the Stars take on the Sixers. The Stars lose that game, and the Heat, who started the tournament very slowly, somehow find themselves in the finals with momentum, and they would play the Hurricanes.
Very dangerous.
On a wicket that sees plenty of runs down there in Hobart as well. That's nicely cut away. And Cal Ferguson, classy, 27 from 19.
Yeah, very good shot there. Gave himself some room. Hey, Josh Archie out there's no mean feat, so timed it beautifully. Yeah, that game will suit the Heat right down Hobart. So I'm actually, here you go, I'm going Hobart straight out if they play the Heat. Heat in the final. That's a big call.
Seems they're not even in yet, the Heat.
It's a real good call.
It's at odds.
Well, if they're in, I just think the wicket will suit them down in Hobart.
Could you play that well twice in a row, though?
Hobart have won about 8 straight down there, haven't they?
Yeah, due to lose one.
5 for 101.
Sort of what happens occasionally in this sort of format.
William Hill customers are enjoying bet boosts on their ACCAs. And now the boosts are even bigger. Choose the ACCAs that you want to boost and get better odds and more returns on your winners. Bet boosts are available every day, online and on mobile. All you need to do is create an ACCA with 3 or more selections, hit boost in your bet slip, and you're away. More control, more value, more to celebrate. William Hill. This is more.
Tomorrow night. Shooting for the Sixers, won't they?
Yeah, they will be. Yeah, definitely.
That final home and away match will be on Fox Cricket tomorrow afternoon, 2:15 local. And the Sixers taking on the Stars at the MCG. It does spin. Good call. And Joffre picked it up late.
So he's nearly done an ankle stopping that.
He picked that at one hand, didn't he? Tacked it hard. It spun.
When will fieldsmen learn which way the ball spins? When will they ever learn?
Should know.
Okay, you hit it with overspin like that, it's going to come back at you. So in the end, it was a great bit of work. Put the big periscope down, didn't he? Just picked the ball up. Big trunk, and she goes. Good little spell by Darcy Short. 2
yes. Bowled 4 overs in the last 2 games, which is a bonus for Matthew Wade. They haven't even gone to Clive Rose yet, have they?
No.
They normally bowl him quite early. Haven't as yet.
What we do have is a game on our hands. A bit anticlimactic after what was required, but 61 from 39. You were talking about Chris Green the other night. I think it was at Marvel. Match 46, January 30th. This is the run out you were talking about.
This is Cameron Boyce's night, wasn't it?
Yep.
Yeah.
Another look in a sec. Oh, that's beaten everyone. Bit extra bounce from Darcy Short. Gets through Matty Wade. Run by Clive.
It's wrong, just sat on the pitch a bit. Yeah, Chris Green, he went to slide his bat, not on the actual pitch surface, but on the pitch next to the playing surface, and his bat got stuck in. We'll look at that again as we look at the replay for that. So I think that's okay, as long as he lets it go by now.
Yes, they'll probably go to another angle, won't they? so right.
So you go for replays for this, but you don't go for a replay. You can't have a DRS for an LBW. Need to change that rule too, don't we?
There you go. So we've come up with some solutions. 1-2, Howie, back to that. Very important.
1-2, yep.
Yeah, must be done. Because I don't think Hobart deserved to miss out on playing in the final. If they lost 2 finals, you know, the double chance, then lost the next one, so be it. But you know, I give Heat a real chance. If the Stars didn't win, I also give the Stars a chance down there at Hobart on that sort of wicket as well.
Well, the former Michael Stoinis is in at the top of the order. Oh, it's going to find the gap. It's like a screwball. Now back to Chris Green.
Yes, that was funny. We've had some funny run-outs, haven't we, Jim?
Yeah.
Because Sammy Harper's just flicking them off, not even worrying about the run-out, is he?
No, he didn't have a clue what was going on. Poor old Chris Green went to slide his bat and he got stuck in the ground and catapulted him in the air, and nothing was behind the line.
Green advances, hits it hard, and sneaks a single. Spinners have been outstanding. 8 overs between them. 4 wickets for just 49 runs with 11 dots. Great little period. Qais Ahmed, Darcy Short.
Yeah, good bowling from Qais Ahmed, getting rid of Usman Khawaja, the big wicket. That was early on. And Darcy Short getting rid of Anton Devcic with the ball, which was shortish but bowled into the pitch, and then Daniel Sams trying to hit Darcy Short long and high over mid-wicket. Got a top edge straight up. So there's a couple of good wickets for Darcy Short. Then the LBW, Matthew Jilks, a little bit unlucky. Ball did pitch outside leg, but he's bowled well, Qais Ahmed. Very handy acquisition to the men in purple.
So 55 from 36. Ferguson Green out there at the moment. Batting to come. Jordan, Cummins, Gurinder Sandhu, Fawad Ahmed. Paddy Cummins always handy with the bat. This partnership 26 from 23. Advancing and hitting it really hard. It's Green. Clears the rope.
It's a good strike.
That is a good strike. Hit that very well.
And boys, we're just talking about overseas players coming in for the semi-finals. Well, I've just been sent a message that says you can't play an overseas player in the finals unless they've played in the regular season. So
there you go.
So forget your dilly-dallying around with your overseas player book for the Heat.
So you have to play a regular season game to be available.
So if AB de Villiers said he would love to play that game for the Brisbane Heat, we wouldn't let him.
Nope.
Well, it's as stupid as ICC banning Jason Holder from the Test match in the Caribbean.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. But so AB de Villiers says, "Yeah, I'll come and play in the finals for you." We're not allowed to. Well, you couldn't play for Hobart or Renegades or anything.
Correct.
But he says, "I really want to come and see what it's like because I might come back the next year." We're not going to let him do it. Overrates bugbear June, isn't it, in the game of cricket?
Oh, Jason Holder's situation is ridiculous.
Actually played again. Trying to get back for 2 there. Probably should have got back there, really. And they will now.
Nice game developing here now.
Yeah, what, 47, 45 or 32, so Thunder well in the game. Wind this would be pretty level pegging, I reckon, if we had a look at it now. In fact, I think the Thunder might sneak home now.
Well, get down to the last couple.
Yeah, 59% Thunder.
That'll change, flip around if they lose a Ferguson, you would think, wouldn't you? Patrick Cummins can play, as we know. Chris Jordan can bat, so they've got a couple that can get him across the line. 11 runs off this over so far.
Ferguson the key, 32 from 24. And speared in at leg stump at 104 kilometres an hour by Clive Rose. 5 for 123. It's been a massive summer on Fox Sports with the cricket, and just around the corner, it's footy season. See every game on Fox Sports News this afternoon. The great Sandy Roberts, one of the best TVs. Great work, Sandy Roberts. So good on you, Sandy. Meredith to Ferguson. Who wins the NRL Premiership, Mark? That's your wheelhouse.
NRL Premiership. I'm a Bulldogs man, but I'm not sure we can win it.
Got to support it, mate.
Oh yeah. We'll make the top 8.
AFL Buff.
I think Roosters will be hard to beat again.
AFL easy Crows.
Your Adelaide Crows. See Michael Vaughan wearing an Adelaide Crows jumper the other day.
Spreading the gospel. I think Parramatta Eels will win the NRL, Jim.
You're an Eels man, eh?
Yeah.
Them and the Bulldogs are similar. No, Bulldogs will beat the Eels home.
Meredith to Green.
Different tactic around the wicket, isn't it? It's the right-hander.
Yeah, he's got his mid-off up, so that's a bit dangerous. But he's got third man and backward point out.
This Ferguson season is very good this season. 429 runs at 35. Good strike rate. Struggled a bit last year, actually. Missed out in a few games, had a couple injuries. The year before wasn't too bad either. BBL 8 is his best year.
Such an improved cricketer, Chris Green. You mentioned him earlier on, like 5-6 years ago when we started doing the Big Bash. He was just getting a game for the Thunderbuff. Now he's spent time captaining overseas for Guyana, gets wickets, makes runs. His batting's really improved. He's good in the field.
Knows the game really well. He's a smart cricketer for him. He'll be one that I'm sure that the Thunder might look at when Shane Watson decides to sort of hang up his boots as captain. Knows the franchise really well, loves it.
9 not outs for the season.
He's just got a good way about him. When he comes to the crease, he's busy. You know, you've got confidence that he reads the game well. He's going to keep a level head under pressure.
I agree.
Gun fielder.
He would have had 10 not outs if he didn't get run out.
It's a wide. Should get home here, the Thunder.
Well, I think it'll probably sum up their season. They'll probably miss out in this game.
No, we'll win this game.
Hurricanes will be pretty keen to go to the finals with a win in their belt, you'd imagine. Meredith, 2.3 overs, 1 for 33.
You know what? I don't think it'll matter one iota.
Okay.
Howie?
Righto. Called another wide. Teams will look at Meredith, though. He's gone at 8.4. He had a 44 from 4 overs on the 29th of December. He went for 39, the 7th of January, 39 on the 21st of January, a 42 on January 23, and a 43 from 3 overs in the last start.
He's definitely gettable, and what he does do, he actually runs in and tries to bowl even quicker when he goes for a few runs, so he's just got to take a deep breath, I think, and think about what he's doing in between balls.
That's taken 15 wickets, mind you.
That's a good shot. That'll be 4, I think. Beautifully timed. That's one of the shots of the night. Like Callum Ferguson, wasn't a bad ball at all. He's punched it on the up.
Well, the one problem Hobart Hurricanes have got is James Faulkner. They're missing him, aren't they?
He's got 18 wickets.
Yeah, so he's been injured. So
what's he got? What's the injury?
Knee. He's had his good knee flare up, I think. So if you bring him back in the side, that gives their bowling a little bit more control, especially with the new ball as such.
Yeah, he swings that new ball. He should be okay for the semis, I think. Precautionary, I heard that they just wanted to rest him.
So he's the one I'd be getting back in. If you add him back into that side, they're playing one of Meredith or Moody, aren't they? With a bit more control with the new ball. So that gives them even better balance.
18 wickets for Faulkner.
Will they play Rose with Short and Case Ahmed bowling? So well?
Oh, I think they will if they play Brisbane Heat because they're all right-handers.
Yeah, okay.
Tim Payne available for finals or not?
Pretty sure he is, yeah. Be interesting.
Another one in the mix.
He's got a reasonable big bash record, Tim Payne.
Yeah. He's got a lot of runs there a couple of seasons ago.
At the top of the order.
Look for 2.
50 partnerships up off 37 deliveries, so 31 required from the last 4 overs for the Thunder.
Join Bet365 and discover the power of the world's favourite online betting company. Instant match updates, in-depth analysis, live streaming. The Bet365 app is so advanced, it will blow your mind. Now please, gamble responsibly.
You can see him. What's the biggest one? 89.
Well, not the 110 we saw in the first innings, but
yeah.
Ben McDermott. It was huge. That was big. Comparison there, thanks to Bunnings Warehouse. They're ahead of the Worm, aren't they?
Yeah, they're home.
Oh, I'm not so sure about that.
Do it on the bit.
Well, I do know that they're bowling. They're obviously giving Clive Rose some overs, so they're probably not so worried about it. They're more about making sure everyone's getting their bowling under pressure.
It's good practice to finish off a game, though. Death. So I would have thought Rose would normally bowl in this situation, though he has
Last
done.
4 overs, you wouldn't think, would you?
Talking about that 110-metre hit from Ben McDermott. Oof, it was probably the highlight of the night.
Oof. It was, wasn't it? Look at that. 110 metres.
How did they see where it landed, though?
That's a very good point. They have it worked out in the truck down there, mate.
They got it all.
Yeah, they got it.
Extrapolate the ball flight, they do.
What's that mean?
I don't really know. I just made it up. Sounded good, though.
It did sound good. Just getting back to that tackling of the pig, you know.
Yeah.
Do you know who tackled the pig?
No, I don't know who tackled the pig.
Yeah.
Why? Who was it?
Darren Holmes. Played for the Swans.
There
Darren Holmes. There you go.
Was that, you're talking about the Gabba in the test match?
Sydney versus St Kilda, going back AFL days.
I wasn't listening, sorry.
Yeah, you normally don't send us a Kilda AFL.
You're talking about Sandy Roberts, and he described the breed of pig.
Some blue, was it? Bit of trivia there for you, Howie.
Well done.
Yeah.
Well, you just had that in your head, did you?
I just remembered it.
Sure you did. 28 from 22. The Thunder in control here, as long as these two stay there.
Well, that's 4.
Oh, well cut away from Callum Ferguson. Not the most elegant shot he's ever played, but it's effective.
Yeah, a bit short and wide, wasn't it, from Clive Rose?
His placement's been very good tonight, Ferguson. He's beaten that man a couple of times now. 24 off 21. They should get home now, June. I think you're right. Don't know why I doubted you. But that's Clive Rose. You've got to be bowling at stumps there. You know, it's an easy shot for a player of Ferguson's class.
You've got no one out at point. You definitely need to bowl it straight. It's on a full toss.
See, this sort of scenario where you really got to try and get a dot somehow or a wicket in there. You need to. They're moving it now. They've gone the cover back, or point back to a normal cover, and the deep cover back to a deep point. More in regulation field.
Bowling, that's good bowling. Nice Yorkers. Andrew Simons used to bowl a good Yorker, didn't he?
With the spinners,
yeah.
Yeah,
so
fast.
do you too, Buff? You little round arm Yorker.
Mine didn't bounce. Mine sort of. It was probably the second bouncer Yorker, Jim. Coming back.
Good running.
Yeah, good running there from Callum Ferguson. That's a good over. 10 runs coming from it. 545 off 16. It's now 21 off 18. He should get home.
Win viz is about 95%, I think.
95%?
It was 89 just before that.
Okay. Archer's not a bad bowler at the end of the innings.
Yeah, he's still clinging on there, aren't you, Buff? But it's not going to happen.
No, I actually would like your side to win. I do.
So Merida's gone for a stack again, 40 off his 3. Archer's got 2 left. Moody just the one over 17. Case and short, 8 overs between them. 4 for 49. Very good.
Very good.
Good bit of mathematics too, isn't it?
Very good. Archer from the pool end to Ferguson on 46. Past 400 runs in the tournament in this innings. There's Cal. Cuts that hard, but it'll only be a single.
Well,
did you just get a text off Buffett?
I love the boys I used to coach and the humour they used to provide me as well. James Fortner said he's good to go.
Good to go?
He's good to go. He'll be
What
back.
did he exactly say on that?
I'm not going to repeat what he said.
But he's good to go for the semi.
It's great. He's listening to us on Fox Cricket, which is great to see. James, well done, mate. Thanks for the info. Thanks, James. Good man. Swing it away, pal. I know you will.
Back to the semi-finals.
He's ready to go, apparently.
Good.
So
resting up in his...
He'll be texting me in about 10 seconds as well.
Oh, that's well worth a shout. Good Yorker again. Missing off stump. Partnership now 63 from 46.
And he's got that.
Bunted away. It is. Just axed away by Green. Again, a really handy innings. And now just 14 required from 14.
He's making his name as an all-rounder, isn't he, really?
Yeah.
For him. Smart cricketer.
His batting's improved out of sight. I mean, he's never really had much of a chance. He's been down at 7 or 8 and never really faced many balls. I mean, he's coming at 7 again tonight, but I think he's better than that. I think he could easily bat, say, 5, 6.
It's about that high?
Yeah.
Well, I like his smartness of the game. That's what I've been impressed with.
Match awareness.
Yeah. Well, I know his name was brought up a bit, wasn't it, Gene? Just to chat about occasionally the way he goes about it and keep an eye on him, especially in this format.
Ferguson bowled for 47 by Jofra Archer. End of a fine innings.
Yeah, just gave himself room. He probably didn't need to do that. Then just get through that over and probably take on the next over. But gets the wicket. Ferguson goes. 13 from 12 required now. The wicket. It's an important one for the Hurricanes. Gives them a chance. It's beaten on the outside of the bat there, June. Gave himself too much room. But Ferguson played really well tonight. Got him back into the game. 47 off 34.
I've always dreamed of sitting ringside at the football, huh? Look at this guy. He's like a thoroughbred. I don't know whether I should watch him play or give him a sugar lump. No matter. I got him down for a double. The match today in the 420 at Aintree. Meet. Oh!
Don't bet silly.
That's savvy.
The new Build Your Bet has thousands of combinations to choose from. So why request a bet when you can easily build your own and get your price instantly? The smart money's on Coral.
Some long patient innings in the Test series versus the Indians, Pat Cummins, but can hit a long ball straight down the ground. Meredith to begin his final over.
No ball. Not what you want.
Gone upstairs for the run out.
Is it wide of the front foot of the... Let's have a look at the run out first. Don't dig your bat in, Chris. No, that's fine. Just got into me.
Well, it was amazing. He could deflect anyway. It could have been a 5, and it's a free hit anyway. So you're at 42 off 3 overs at the moment. Meredith?
Yeah, not good for his confidence. He really needs to stop and think when he's going for runs, not just steaming and bowl quicker and quicker. Great young talent. He's still learning his caper, particularly in T20s.
A free hit, that delivery. Paddy Cummins couldn't take toll.
So it'd be interesting. Nathan Coulter, he went off sick, didn't he, in the previous game, the strikers?
Yeah.
He's in the one-day setup, isn't he? So if he goes, who would they pick? Who would you pick, Gene? Even though we're not selectors anymore.
I'm picking my roughie, Matt Kelly, in the Scorchers. I think he's the best death bowler going around
in India.
Yeah, have a look at him.
Okay.
Meredith to Cummins, another wide. He's bowled some extras tonight, has Riley Meredith.
Yourself?
Just having a look at this no ball that was the free kick, free hit.
Yeah, there's a back foot. Actually, that's okay, isn't it? Or was it front foot?
It's the front foot.
Not sure that's a no ball, you know.
No, it wasn't.
Who am I picking? I don't know. I actually don't know, June. There you go.
Nothing's changed then.
For once, I can't.
Nothing's changed.
For once, I can't give you an answer.
What do you think about my suggestion?
I don't mind that because I haven't seen enough of him.
Ever seen him bowl?
I've seen him bowl. I think he's got a beautiful seam, and I know he can bowl a good Yorker. You've seen him more than I have, so
slower one.
I'd actually be okay with that. Into the wicket, slow ball. Watch the ball, Paddy Cummins.
I just think we've really got to find a death bowler. White ball cricket.
Yep. What about Andrew Tye? Would they play him again?
Are you asking me, or you're talking to yourself?
No, I'm actually talking to myself. Sorry.
You both continue to talk.
I just told you who I'd pick.
There's a game on the line here. Cummins gets off strike.
Buff's ball because the Heat aren't playing.
They're going to hustle back for 2. Direct hit, and there was concerns for Green. Good running, though, by the Thunder.
Very good running. So, 8 from 8. I'm not worried, Harry, because I think the Thunder are going to win, mate.
Okay.
Boundary to ease the pressure, though. Is it time for George Bailey to bring a man or two up into the circle, though?
Well, he can't because he's not captain.
Matty Wade might have a go at it.
Oh, well. But he can suggest to Matthew Wade, can't he? Why do I think George Bailey's captain?
I don't know. It was on the sheet before, actually.
Paddy Cummins faces Meredith. Over pitched, and that's the boundary they were after. Outside portion of the bat. Third man was inside the rope. And Meredith has now gone for 49. 3.5. 4 required.
Have to bring up the half ton. Well, that relieves the pressure. If there was any, I didn't think there was, but you thought there was, Howie. But the Thunder look like they're going to scoot home here. You just keep thinking about your replacement to Nathan Coulter. He hasn't done a hamstring, has he? He just had a bit of a headache or something, didn't he?
Oh, so if he's missing out, who are you picking? I asked you.
Paddy Cummins gets it into the gap. Rolling towards the boundary. Doesn't quite get there. But they hustle back for 3. Just 1 required off the final over. 6 for 165.
Yeah, it's been a good effort by the Thunder tonight. Obviously disappointed that they can't make the semi-finals, but they've finished the season off well. Good performance.
Look at that for a shot, Jim.
It's us up in a little spaceship.
Oh, isn't it?
Brand new media centre here at Monaco. Open up for the test match.
How good is it?
Very.
It's a great ground, isn't it?
Yep. Good lunch too.
Lunch?
Yep.
Wow,
good lunch during the test match.
That's really cool.
A little wave buffet.
So just 1 required now for the Thunder.
That's good work.
Like yourself on camera, do you, boy? Pretty happy with the thing you're cutting.
Well, actually not.
It's far from good, but good from afar.
I see you're joining me on radio, June.
Well, Howie's quite handsome, though, isn't he?
Oh, yeah.
Sure. All right, Jofra Archer.
Surfy dude.
With ball in hand to Cummins. So the Hurricanes are going to go into the final off the back of a loss.
Let's get out the way now.
Archer to Cummins. It is a
couple blocker.
Legal delivery.
I reckon that's well over. Oh, no.
Just clip the top of the lid, I think.
Yeah, fair enough.
They hustle through for the single. The Sydney Thunder win by 4 wickets, but their season is finished. The Hurricanes lose, but they go to a semi-final in front of just over 11,000 people at Monaco. Well done to the Sydney Thunder.
Yeah, it's been a good game. Good cricket wickets and lovely batting from both teams. The Thunder will be thinking what could have been. They finished level with the Heat, but their run rate not good enough. The Hurricanes go into the semi-finals with a loss under their belt here, but I don't think that'll worry them too much, Buffer.
No, 19 over a game. You know, both sides would have got 180. We said that at the start of the game it was going to be a high-scoring T20 game. It was good wicket, perfect conditions, a little bit of rain. Obviously cost us an over here and there, but the Hobart Hurricanes finished top of the table in the BBL 8 and go into, obviously, confidence on Thursday. Lost the game, but they played quite well. They gave their bowlers, they were struggling a little bit, extra overs. Thunder will be disappointed with their finish. Great to finish with a win in the last game, but missed opportunities. The Macca's match summary. Hurricanes. Bailey was excellent. Wade.
So that's that. That is it for the Sydney Thunder. They win, but it won't matter in terms of the playoff places. They cannot qualify for the top four. They don't qualify for the top four. Brisbane Heat remain in fourth. The Melbourne Stars will have something to say about that tomorrow. The Hurricanes, as you heard, lose today, but we're already assured of top spot. They will contest the semi-finals next week. Before we go, time to tell you about what's on elsewhere. The Hyundai A-League from Australia, of course, Melbourne City and Adelaide United. That's now in its latest stages, live over on BT Sport 1. Saturday Morning Savage, of course, from 11:30 today on 1. Premiership Rugby, fourth bottom plays bottom, Northampton and Newcastle from midday today on 2. Our live Premier League game, Brighton and Burnley at the Amex from 5 p.m. on 1 and in 4K HD. And as mentioned, a chance for the Stars to replace the Heat in the top four. They take on second-placed Sixers. Do join us if you can tomorrow morning from 3:30 a.m. on BT Sport 3 for that one. So we're all done at Manuka. Rain delay didn't affect things unduly. The Sydney Thunder win the game but lose their chance to claim a top four spot. The Hurricanes, despite today's defeat, march on. We'll see you tomorrow morning.
Join Bet365 and discover the power of the world's favourite online betting company. Instant match updates, in-depth analysis, live streaming. The Bet365 app is so advanced, it will blow your mind. Now please, gamble responsibly.